Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning. Got an absolutely amazing broadcast lineup for you this morning. And you know what it is. This is what we call Black Friday. This is Black Friday. And what is that? That is where you become the boss. All you have to do is give us a call, 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Give us a call and we'll talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about, business related, whether it's your own business, you got an event coming up, you know, somebody else is having an event and you want to put it out there to 58 countries, absolutely free. Don't cost you nothing but just a little bit of your time. Give us a call, 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. The phones are open and we are waiting on you. Badger, good morning, young man. How you doing this morning?
Another day to be thankful for.
Yes, indeed it is, brother. Yes, indeed it is. You said a mouthful that time. You said a mouthful with no snuff in it that time, brother.
God, I haven't heard that in a while.
That's one of them old North Carolina sayings, brother. You know, hey, every now and then I gotta pull one out of me.
Hey, my grandma did that snuff.
Oh, did she really?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, a lot of folks used to do that snuff, man. But that I ain't never. I just think it was nasty. I said, man, I don't.
And God help you if you ever messed with it.
Exactly. I couldn't do it, brother. It just wasn't in me. Snuff.
My grandpa tried to get me to play a practical joke on my grandma messing with her snuff, and I'm nope.
Ain't gonna do it because that wouldn't have worked out well, brother. That would not have worked out well. It'll have been a mess. You'd have had some issues. But that and when we used to wrestle, our coach, and I don't know, he had to be wrong for doing this. He had to be wrong, Badger. But our coach used to when we used to have to lose weight on that day, he used to tell us put on the sweatsuit, the sweatsuit and everything. And the only thing that was we put on a plastic garbage bag tied onto our body, put on sweats on top of that, and run and do whatever we're gonna do to make ourselves sweat. He's always tell us to dip tobacco.
Yeah.
He's telling us to dip tobacco because what he said that tobacco gonna make you keep spitting. It's gonna make you spit, and the more you spit, the more weight you're losing. I didn't know how that worked, and I told him I wasn't doing that.
Well, nicotine also opens up blood vessels. So it's got some good qualities to it, just as long as you don't overdo it.
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm not having that.
Yeah, no, I wasn't a big fan of dipping myself.
But had a lot of guys, man, they would do it. They would get that snuff, put it in their mouth, and have at it, brother. And have at it. That go back. I was away from my screen, man. I was doing some other things on the other screen. I didn't even know you had popped back in here, man. What's that shirt? What's that shirt you got on?
Oh, this? It's the Baby Yoda.
Yoda, want it? I like that, man. That's sharp. How you like my little fancy little backdrop?
I like the blue.
Yeah, I'm like I said, being here, I take my little logo down. Being here, man, at the house, I'm broadcasting from home today, so I don't have my headset and I ain't got I got a microphone here, but it's not the typical mic that you used to seeing, and so it's a kind of a different look. A little more, actually, it's a little more comfortable though. I'm sitting here. It's a little more comfortable.
I like it.
Yeah, the blue. You have a little blue backdrop. I might be able to put me let me see. Can I do that? Let me see. I wonder, can I put me a backdrop on here? Let me see. It might not work out well though. Let me see here. No, that's not gonna work out. I was gonna try to put a backdrop on there, but it's not gonna work. It's in my lighting. I don't have the right lighting for here to do it.
Nothing wrong with that.
But Black Friday, business, talking about business. What do you do? Okay, let's go here. What do we do, Badger, if you know that you actually intentionally, you've been on your job for a long time. You've been working there for a long time and been, you think, doing a very good job. But every time there's a promotion, for some reason, you're looked over for that promotion. Oh, Lord, that's happened?
Every job I've been in.
Wow.
for me, the excuse was I couldn't talk to people properly.
Could you do the job?
I trained managers how to do their job.
I
was when I worked for Walmart. Well, you know about the different departments and all that.
Yeah.
So I worked grocery, deli, frozen, dairy, meat, unloaded trucks, sporting goods, electronics, hardware, garden center, the mod team, and overnight stalker.
Okay.
And cashier.
Good Lord. So you knew every department pretty much.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch apparel. My OCD would not let me get in there. I hurt people.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Matter of fact, the local one I used to work at, they tested me to see if I could be a leader. And they put me in charge of maintenance. The floors were always disgusting. Within 30 days, the whole store had white floors. Would you like to know what the problem was?
What was it?
So they use wax on their floors. Would you use boiling hot water to wash those floors?
No.
They were putting boiling hot water in those machines that they drive around to scrub the floors with the soap.
And wondering why was a mess.
Okay. So they were going through wax and everything, and the dish. And I literally just read the soap bottle. I'm like, let's try cold water for a month.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, that's not what the managers tell us. I'm like, well, they made me lead, so let's try this. I did that. We re-waxed the floors. The district manager came in and said, y'all couldn't do this in years, and he's got this done within 30 days. He said, what did you do? I said, I read the bottle.
Wow.
Yeah, managers didn't like that, and they demoted me immediately and said that it was because I couldn't talk to people properly.
Why didn't you go back to the gym and tell them, look here, they are targeting me, and it's obvious they're targeting me. You came into the store, you complimented me, and now that I told you what happened. Now
I was protected. The district manager, he knew I had a temper. So like I could kind of understand why they were saying what they were saying.
That was affecting your money though, bro.
To a degree. I always got my raises.
Okay.
They would never deny me a raise because you can't. There's no way for them to be able to. To this day, when people see me talking to certain managers and stuff, that knew me, they've asked, they wish I would come back.
Would you?
Not in the condition I'm in.
Okay.
I can't do all the lifting and stuff and all that, and I can't handle being a door greeter.
Yeah.
That's just my anxiety and everything else that I deal with is just nope.
What would you do when some of them bad kids we talked about yesterday come through the store and you be a greeter? That might not go well, huh?
No. That's one of the closest times I've ever been fired. Dealing with them smart aleck kids that just want to cause a mess and all that. Because I'll call them out in a heartbeat.
Wow.
Tell them to quit acting like a fool and all that stuff, even in front of their parents.
Yeah. Because sometimes you have to tell the parents the same thing.
And I've done it. So, but the one time I was given a management position was at Church's Chicken.
Okay.
And I did all right there. But I caught the regional manager stealing. And I reported it, and it ended up costing me my job.
Wait a minute. What was he stealing?
Stealing food and stuff. And the store manager had no problem with it.
You just turn a blind eye.
Just turn a blind eye.
That happens a lot, though.
Well, you know, the more I've been on the show with you guys and stuff, you know, I've been going back through my memories, you know, trying to see if I can notice what you guys talk about, you know, and I honestly think it was white privilege.
Wow.
Because I was like one of 2 white people in that store. And the supervisor was a definitely middle-class white woman. You know, and the owners were white males.
Wow.
You know, and here's just, you know, poor class white person calling this other person a thief. Yeah, that didn't go well.
Wow.
So
it does happen.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And I wouldn't say that I've just been blind to it. It's such a foreign concept to me because of you know, my life experiences.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have privilege like that. You know, you know, and some people said I had privilege when I was working and stuff because of skin color or whatever, and I'm like, no, that didn't have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
You know, when the managers are giving you permission to, which is something they also got in trouble for when the district manager found out. The managers actually gave me the codes and everything, gave me the permissions to be able to order things in departments and do a lot of the things that they did.
They had you doing their jobs.
Had me doing their jobs. District manager said, if you want him to be doing those jobs, you need to give him that position to do those jobs.
Yeah.
So they took all that stuff away from me. Because they didn't want to put me in those positions.
Why would they not just give you the position? If you're already doing it, they know you can do it. You can handle it.
I honestly think I was a threat. Because I know a lot of people that's been stuck in that kind of position.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, you know, there's some of us that we don't take crap, junk from people.
You say crap.
Okay. You know, I had a reputation. I would cuss a manager out in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I'd tell them to stick it where the sun don't shine. I had a manager literally come tell us that we're unloading trucks in the middle of summer. You know, in the back of the store.
Yeah.
You know, where it gets hot and everything. Told us that we couldn't have water until we unloaded the truck.
Great.
Man, the words that came out of my mouth that day would not be appropriate for this show.
Yeah. And okay, that's okay. I understand. Well, you need to come back here and unload this truck while I go do something else, because you ain't gonna tell me I can't have no water. It's crazy to me.
Yeah. And you know, and he wanted to get me fired for what I said to him that day. I told him to get up out of his little willy. He wasn't in a wheelchair. He was in one of those mobile things.
Mobile cars. Yeah.
And man, I just let him have it. And he went to the store manager and the other managers and stuff, and he's like, "Well, I was cussed out by Wade and da 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 da." And managers walked by, and we all went. He told us we couldn't have any water. The moment they heard that, they went back to him and go, "For one, you already know Wade's got an attitude. 2, you're messing with his crew."
Yeah.
I'm like, Wade will cuss anybody out protecting someone that works hard. Now, if it's somebody that doesn't do that, like isn't doing their job and stuff, they'll just turn around and walk off.
Yeah.
But if it's someone that works hard, I had a mouth.
Exactly. And see, I could see that, man, and it doesn't matter, and I don't think it would have mattered whether it was purple. It doesn't matter. If they work hard, they do their job, you're gonna stand up for them. He drinking his water. I can't tell him I can't have no water.
I'm drinking coffee.
Okay. But man, I'm gonna tell you, and see, that's the sad part about it right there, man. There's people that work on these jobs, man, and I tell people, you know, start your own. That's what I preach to everybody. Start your own, but it's not always in everybody's vision to start their own business. Maybe they're just not ready. I like to see people start their own business and do their own thing, but a lot of time they get caught up on these jobs, man, and the jobs don't have their best interests at heart at all.
Oh, no, they're most corporations, especially places like Walmart and stuff, you know, You know, I came into Walmart right before, not a couple years after Walton died.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that was his name.
Changed, so his son changed so much.
It wasn't his sons.
Mm.
It wasn't his kids. His kids let the CEOs run everything.
Wow. Mm.
So they
I know when he died, when he died, a lot of things about Walmart changed, man.
Oh man.
And not for the good.
No, they've been trying to get rid of full-time associates and all kinds of stuff. And you know, the way they've been doing it, it's so shady.
Yeah.
But it's legal.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
You know, and you know, I've told people before, and they're like, "Well, Walmart's trash," and da da da. There's no, however, we still have to shop there because they're like the best prices in town.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, well, I don't disagree with you, but if you if you go in there and stock up your house, and then everyone gets together and boycotts that place to treat their associates well, that would solve some problems.
I'm gonna tell you something.
I'm gonna get more coffee.
Okay. The issue I have with Walmart, and the issue I've always had with them is how they step on the little man, the small guy, the mom and pop little stores, man, that has been in business forever, been a pillar of the community for a long time. And here comes this big monster. And what the monster does is it just steps on the small guy, man, and runs about a business.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's the issue I have with Walmart right there.
Oh.
Go ahead, Badger.
Well, no, keep talking. I'm trying to remember where something was that I wanted to show.
Yeah, but that's the thing right there. I've always had an issue with Walmart for that reason, man. If you have a Mon Paul store, has a little glass, what they do glasses, where they make glasses for somebody. All of a sudden, they've been in business for 20, 30 years. They go to the community, they help the community. Somebody come up a little short, they look out for them, blah, blah, blah. It's just a good business for the community. And then now here come this big, this big monster coming into the neighborhood and lower prices because they're able to buy more, they're able to buy in bulk, so they get it at a cheaper price. They sell it to you for a cheaper price, and now you stop going to the Mon and Paul store because you can get it cheaper over there at Walmart. You know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen to Mon and Paul. The store eventually they got to close the doors because they're not selling anything. Everybody's going to the Walmart.
Yeah. You know, and unfortunately, especially with what's going on right now, you know, that's why it's hitting them so hard because if I can get this ice out. Like my wife is a beautiful artist. But I'll show you like some of the stuff she can make. And we've talked about her doing like some business on the side and stuff.
Yeah.
But this is beadwork.
Wow.
That she done by hand. Took her about 13 to 14 hours to make it.
That's real nice.
And people can't afford the pay for time. You know, she can make a little bit off of the materials. But as far as her time, even if she does $5 an hour.
Yeah.
You know, so that'd make it, let's say $75, $100.
Yeah.
For that. But Walmart can sell something that's close, that's generically made, and sell it for 10.
Yeah.
So I think it's a mixture of multiple things of what a person can afford. Because I think some people can only afford certain things, you know, everything from minimum wage to all that kind of stuff. And then people don't understand time anymore. The time it takes for someone to hand make something.
Exactly.
Like, like you can't just hand make things in 20 minutes. Most of the time, some things take a while.
Exactly, it does.
So people want to buy things for close to nothing, and then they'll get upset later when it's not good quality.
Absolutely. We're talking about, this is Black Friday, everybody. We're talking about business and how we start out talking about how in business sometimes a person will look over you. You could be very qualified to do a certain position, and a position come available that's an advancement, and they'll look over you and bypass you. And Badger was telling us how it happened to him at Walmart and different places like that he's worked. And then we catapulted into how Walmart, and I told him how I didn't like Walmart. One of the things I don't like about Walmart is how they snuff out the middleman, the small guy, the small business, the mom and pop stores. They come in and they buy in bulk because they're a big corporation. They buy in bulk and they sell it to the consumer at a lower rate. And mom and pop that's had a store, say they have a glasses shop forever, that has a glasses shop forever. Now they got to go out of business because they can't compete with those prices. Goddess, what do you say about one or both of those?
Well,
and good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm just gonna say, I just was told yesterday, I was suggesting someone was a better fit for the position because this person, I've been working with people that are homeless, houseless, shall I say. And I just suggested somebody that I thought that was very benevolent and cared. And the person that he had in that position was, no, I'm not racist, so I want to put that out there. A young white girl that's, with the Johnson County mentality, which is a Karen, and he told me she has a master's degree, and I'm like, he's looking dead at me with a master's degree. It's several people in here with master's degree that are Black. Like, are we not the only one that don't have a master's degree? And watched her turn away a Black woman and 3 kids for a woman shelter. Now, if I was there, I would have been hot. And she told another Black woman that had a master's degree. And the other Black woman said, "No, we're gonna at least send them away with some hand warmers, something." I'm glad I just was not there, but I had the head of the company tell me that, and I just looked at him like, do we gotta walk around with a master's degree taped to our head to prove who we are?
Wow.
Like,
see, and that's the thing right there. People get looked over for whatever reasons. For whatever reason, they get looked over and pushed to the side. Ms. Neal, good morning, sir. How you doing?
Going, how's everybody?
You're doing good. What do you say about that, brother? Somebody that's they're qualified. They know they're qualified, but
right.
they look over them every time and get a position that really they should be in line for to somebody else.
Right. I mean, that's just society in a whole, I want to say, because it's been happening for so many years and so many centuries and so many decades that it's something that it becomes to be a norm. I say that because that's the product of systemic racism. We talk about that, and that's one of the things that when people say, "Oh, well, you want to make it a racial thing," sometimes it's not a racial thing by color, by gender. Sometimes it can be by background. I can go on and on and on with different things. I give a prime example. I was sitting under the preacher, and he had made a comment to me because he went to Morehouse. But he didn't know that I wanted to go to Morehouse as well, but fam came calling first. So he was talking about how he went to Morehouse, and he subliminally would look down on fam. I'm a big fan. You know how I am about my school.
Yeah.
And so I said, "Well, you got a problem with fam?" He was like, No, it's not that. It's just that most FAMUans can't get in Morehouse. I said, "Oh, really?"
Wow.
I said, oh, really?
Wow.
I said, okay. Because that's what I'm glad that you're the only one who think like that. Because I said, what we have done, I said, a lot of the Morehouse guys are the ones that rejected. They couldn't go to fam. So he was kind of like having a verbal sparring session time.
A tennis match. Y'all having a tennis match.
Right. And, and it kind of went there. But that's why I say sometimes it can also be the background as well. It does not always based on color. It can be other things. And I'm just talking about just in our inner circle, in our race as well, and some of the things that has been said just on that aspect alone. And then you have some people that feel like for the people who didn't get formal education, that they're not adequate, or they're not capable of doing the job, which is a lie. Because I work in a field where I have some people who will have formal education and some don't. I got a guy right now who's training me who has no formal education.
Wow. I
mean, I'm to the point that I pick at it, so I say, man, I can't read your handwriting. You write like a chicken. Yeah. But at the same token, I'm absorbing his knowledge because he has something that he's been there for so long, that he's been grandfathered in. That a lot of people came in now that they require you to have that formal education. But he's been grandfathered in, but he has so much knowledge. He's a trainer. Yeah. And so he's training people with bachelors and masters. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I say it varies when you start talking about different kinds of racism. That's why I say, especially in the corporate world, and not in the corporate world, in the job market, in the job world itself, it's so many different variables that you have to really be careful with it. Really be careful about if that's really what it is. Sometimes it could be your background.
Exactly. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
And Grand Rising human beings, how y'all doing?
Yeah, hey, doing good. We're talking about, this is Black Friday, and we're talking about sometimes on the job, an individual will get overlooked. They could probably be the next one in line for that job. They have the qualifications, they have everything they need, but over and over they find themselves overlooked. And we're also talking about Walmart and how Walmart has snuffed out a lot of small businesses, mom and pop stores. The big monster come into town and they take over, running those small businesses out of business because they can't compete. Talk about either one or both of those.
I think that's subconsciously, that's that clique or that tribe mentality. So people want to belong, that status. Especially when it comes to like what Minister Neal was saying a second ago about the colleges. People like to associate the name with it. Spell me Morehouse. They'll throw that name around. Mainly because it's a popular name at the time. Somebody that's real big in politics or whatever situation it is at that time, they claim that college. It doesn't mean that every single person that comes from that top college has that same level of achievement. People that carry that banner, like Martin Luther King went to Morehouse, right? But see, now everybody else wear that as their badge of honor. But you Martin Luther King's badge of honor on your sleeve, but just the prestige and the clout, the status that comes with associating yourself with somebody that did something. 6 degrees of separation. It has such an effect on people, especially Black people, because we want to be recognized. We want to be acknowledged, recognized, and respected for what we have done or potentially did or had the opportunity to do. And then with the Walmart situation, some people like the experience. They don't realize they like the experience, but it does something to you, not only when you can get everything in one spot, any time of the day, and it's more convenient, but then at the same time too, it's an experience because you see so many people in Walmart compared to going to this one little drugstore, this one little grocery store that has to offer and less people to see. You almost feel like they might be right down the road from you. You might not be going because the price is cheaper. You're just going for the experience. I know men right now that go to Walmart just to see who walking around in tights.
Wow.
And you go to Walmart right now, you see women that put their tights on just to go to Walmart. You know they put their tights on just to go to Walmart. I like it. Oh, Walmart sometimes.
Lord.
It's the clout experience, it's all really a subconscious mental behavior that attracts you to do things like that. But people that advertise and market to us, they know the psychology of people, so they knew what it would take to pull us from the mom and pop store. And we come in and enjoy that experience. Buy groceries and clothes and food. I remember one time they had McDonald's. Well, they still got a McDonald's. Out of super center. We're gonna sit down and eat and enjoy a meal in the middle of shopping. Really got a deli.
Exactly. And see, and that's the thing right there, man. They throw so many different things at you in one, and it's almost like a mall. It's like a mini mall, like one-stop shop. Because the mall got the food court where you go, you shop, you go to the food court, you eat in that food court. So I understand the concept, but my thing is that mom and pop shop could have helped a lot of people out. You know, they be there when you fall short or something like that. You go to that convenience store, that mom and pop store, and they know you. They say, "Oh, you Jimmy's son. You Jimmy's son. You're a little short. Okay, when you get it, bring it back, and I'll take care of you." You can't
have a tab.
Yeah, exactly. And they put you on a layaway plan or whatever it is. They work with you. Walmart, this big monster Walmart, Badger won't do that. If you don't have, for a minute they had a layaway plan, but they even got away with that. So what do you say about that, Badger? Badger?
Oh, which part?
Go from where you are, brother.
Oh, the tactical ways of how they've got people to come in.
Yes, you can deal with that.
I don't understand the concept of coming in just to find a woman. That just makes no sense to me. Or the look. Some of the way people dress in Walmart, just no thank you.
They do it.
Their layaway system, man. Oh my God, drove me nuts. Which is, it was another tactic. People getting ready for Christmas and stuff because they think they have to buy all these presents and everything, and to be able to purchase by doing a payment plan, so that way they don't have to worry about that present they're wanting to get to be there or not. And then they don't have to worry about going to get a loan. So it's like going to a pawn shop. Per se, you know, and I think that's where they got the idea from, to be honest. Kmart used to be, an all right store. The associates were treated okay and all that stuff.
See, Walmart ran Kmart out of business. When Walmart came along, Kmart was there first. Walmart
pretty much just about ran everybody out. You know, to me, the only reason Target's still around is because Target targets middle class and up. They have better brand name stuff and different things like that Walmart don't carry. So, and their prices are definitely more most of the time.
They're a little more expensive. They are a little more expensive.
So
now, go ahead, Patrick.
So to me, Walmart targets the lower class, which is why they do so good. They have all these things that are made out of particle board and all kinds of stuff. And as far as grocery goes, I still don't see how they can be cheaper than a regular grocery store, because they're buying stuff in bulk too. So it makes me really suspicious of how Walmart is able to sell so much, especially in food, cheaper than the grocery store around the corner.
Quality. I question the quality, because I was talking to Minister Neal one day. He was telling me about the little seafood. He shot down a little seafood place around the corner from me, and telling how they sell the frozen fish. And so maybe that's a part of it as well, how they get it and where they're getting their products from. Because you got to admit, anybody that's close to the water, Rico, I think you're close to the water as well. There's a difference in the taste, and once you freeze that fish, and then you cook it, and then or you get it fresh out the water, and you cook it fresh out the water. There's a difference, man. There's an absolute difference in the taste and the quality of that. Minister Neal, that's a pretty good shirt you got on there, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What do you think about how Walmart has ran certain businesses out, community businesses out of the community, Minister Neal?
Again, it's unfortunate, but at the same token, that's the capitalism side of America. And we have to understand that. You could think that they've always pretty much taking a market, and once you have had that market to elevate it to a certain level, they pretty much come in and swoop in and with big dollars and glitter and paint. Hey, it's difficult to. It's almost like competing with someone who has cosmetic surgery. And I'm saying that to you because I was looking at something on my post. Someone was talking about Kim Kardashian. I said, after all these years, they still try to elevate her as being a sex symbol when we all know she's a Barbie doll.
Yeah.
Get all that plastic. And we're still trying to convince people that this is sexy. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the same thing America does with the small business. They like a Barbie doll. They're gonna give you all the glitter and paint and make it look like something that it's not. And we're going to go to it because we are drawn to flashy lights.
Yeah.
We're drawn to the mystical of the lights. I want to say that's the reason why when you go to clubs, you see them lights going everywhere like this here. So believe it or not, that's a marketing strategy to mesmerize you to keep drinking. That's why sometimes it's been proven that those lights get you drunker.
Wow.
Because it's almost like you're on a hypnosis. I mean, these are the things that people have put out on paper and it have actually introduced to the medical fields. And I say that to you because we have to be. That's why I say sometimes when you look at this stuff, it's not because they are actually squeezing them out. It's that they have a market, and now they feel like, hey, I can come in with this Barbie doll type of mentality, and boom, there you have it. Case in point, like I said, I go back to the Kardashians. After she made that sex tape, which we all know that was that was something, that was a marketing scheme. But what happened after that? How can a woman go from being a nobody to all of a sudden you want to buy lipstick from her? Really? Perfume from her? Really?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
We've been trapped out. We've been hit with the bamboozle. We've been hit with the bamboozle.
I mean, I'm talking about. I mean, really, but again, we fall for the banana in the tailpipe. You can't blame them. You got to do your research. You got to do your due diligence with this. We are so busy trying to do things. I was telling my nephew last night, and he was talking about Atlanta Housewives. Now, I say 90% of them they're not even from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like, Nene, them they from Athens.
Yeah.
We know how country Athens is. You understand what I'm saying?
Mule right.
They transplants. I say, but again, they paint these pictures and have you thinking you something that you're not. So I said, that's all false. That's a false narrative. That's all false.
That's almost like a gangster rapper. Pulling into
never sold no dope. And you know what? I can talk to a dude. I can tell you, he can tell me 2 things. I can find out if he really sold any dope or not. And I'm about 30 years away. Last time I sold dope was 95. I was still in school. I know my daddy was fussing at me about it. How can you be in college and selling dope?
Yeah.
Because that's the mentality I had once again, but not in the tailpipe. Because I felt like I had to do this. I felt like I needed to do this. Here I am on scholarship. And what if I would have got caught?
Taken away just like that.
Right, exactly.
It's gone.
God's grace, I didn't. So when we sit back and look at it, some of the stuff that we have to do, some of the stuff that we have to be responsible for, just like it is with the internet. You got to be. My nephew said something so powerful last night. He said one of the biggest things in his generation at 13, he says social media has actually controlled them to a point in their thinking and their thought process. So if he can know that at 13, you mean tell me you don't know that at 33? It's a problem.
Exactly. Goddess, what's on your heart, sis? Talk to me.
I totally agree with the gentleman that was just speaking. I feel like let's look at GameStop. they put a big booyah in the whole system.
They did.
It comes to the stocks. And because they didn't think that, you know how many people that are sitting at home doing GameStop, playing games and doing that? They didn't realize half of America. So America spoke up. And then on top of that, if you had Robinhood, whoever owns Robinhood turn around, stop people from even if you know, a lot of people use Robinhood for to invest in the stock market. So now Robinhood's got a lawsuit because they block people from buying the stock. So, but it put a big dent in the in the stock market.
Yeah. What they were trying to play? They were trying to play a game with it. They were trying to make it into. They were trying to they were trying to make GameStop into some kind of game where they could come back and capitalize. And Rico always talking about this capitalist society as well. It was a game that they was playing, and my thing is, it really backfired on them. It really backfired, and instead of them making the money that they thought they was gonna make, they lost money.
Right, because they tried to block them. They tried to put GameStop out of business.
Yeah. Exactly. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Thing is, think about who came in and convinced them. Somebody with a powerful hand came in and told them to shut that down. Somebody came in and said, "Look, man, it's over. Y'all can't do this. You're messing us up." So I think we have to dig deeper. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like what Minister Neal was saying, I went back and said that earlier. I already said that it was about the psychology that they play. You know, they hire psychoanalysts. Some people hear words but don't really think about what those words mean. They don't reason out what they're hearing. They just hear it and it goes in one ear and out the other. Even though when we hear about people being producers and consumers, what they mean, but we still choose to go out and be consumers. You want the most convenient thing in this. And like I said, when you look at the bigger picture, when you observe human nature, you really can become the richest person in the world if you choose to, because you see that people want things that's most convenient to them. So that, like I said, that's why the mom and pop stores lose out. It's unfair. But the mom and pop stores don't have the access. They don't have the they don't have the employee or the work, what they call the work labor force. 24 hours. Open up on Black Friday. Yeah, than they supposed to, because they one time they used to open up at midnight. Now they all open up. So it's like, people want to consume. People want to consume, and as long as they can see them big lights and see the like you said, the Barbie doll of Kim Kardashian, man, is so much makeup and mask and put on everything that we buy, everything we consume, that is we're almost tainted. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say we're spoiled or privileged, but people can't open their eyes or find the right direction they want to go in for wanting to consume things. Exactly. It won't be understood. People can't relate to the plight of the small business owner. And they can't relate to the fact that Kim Kardashian's mother was just a capitalist pimp.
Yes, she was.
And she showed them, you know what? I'm going to show y'all how to become billionaires. And then not only that, I'm going to show you how to lie and say you're a billionaire when you aren't really a billionaire. I remember they busted one of the young girls out lying about being a billionaire. That system worked. And how long has that been going on? New trillionaires and mega billionaires we're seeing every year, this profits just keep jumping up. I mean, how much is that actually their true worth? Now that you see that she did that on the bottom end. And that's the way it goes. The stock market, people are always trying to find a way to manipulate something, especially us consumers. The choice is yours. You know, I'm glad his nephew recognized that the other night, because some people don't take the time to sit back and look and say, "Oh, look, man, wait a minute, what they selling us?" They tell me that this woman, look, they got Kim Kardashian on TMZ every day. Does her family have some kind of ownership in this company? Why are they making moves out of her than anybody else? But they asked Justin Bieber at 16 what he thinks about a presidential candidate, and he ain't even from America. Much less can he ain't old enough to vote. Make us feel like they should tell us who is important and what is important, what we need, what we should value, and we buy it hook, line, and sinker. There's only a few of us that realize that when you choose to value or embrace that capitalism game full circle, stuff will get by, you won't even realize it.
Exactly. Okay, we just lost minutes. Still getting back in there. There we go. Okay, that worked out. So I can actually put my logo back up there now because I got some space above Goddess's head up there. There you go. Bingo. That worked out good. Now we got a caller, and y'all let me know whether y'all can hear the caller because I'm actually broadcasting from home, so I don't have all my perks and everything.
Hey, yeah. I just want to let you know I'm apologizing because I'm going back and forth because people still I'm responding to these texts. You know what's going on. So
yeah, I got you.
Kind of going in and out. That's what's happening. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I understand what I know what you got. Yeah, you good.
Okay.
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is K816.
Okay, can y'all hear her? Okay,
can y'all hear me?
Okay,
Land
good.
of the Chiefs.
Yeah. Oh, Land of the Chiefs. Oh, we're gonna find out about them Chiefs in a couple of weeks. We're gonna find out what them Chiefs.
Y'all already know about them Chiefs. Don't play.
Tom Brady, he gonna lay somebody down.
Tom Brady gonna get laid down.
Tell y'all how to retire Tom Brady.
Oh, y'all gonna retire him?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, look, do me a favor. Do me a favor if you don't mind. K with an E, will you do me a favor? One small favor.
Sure.
When you retire Tom Brady, take Roethlisberger with you. Take him with you. Take him with you. Look, y'all didn't hear me say that, but take him with you. Okay, we're talking this morning. You know, this is Black Friday, and we're talking about how a person could be overlooked. How a person could be overlooked. They're in line for the promotion. The promotion is there. They've been at the company for a long time, but yet and still they're always overlooked. They're overlooked on all different levels. We're talking about that. That's one layer, and the second layer is Walmart. A company like Walmart actually come in business and run the mom and pops has been out there for the community for a long time, and this big monster come in and destroy the mom and pops business. Which angle do you want to take?
Well, as far as the being overlooked, you have to be careful with that because it can happen real easy, and you can help yourself be overlooked because they'll bring somebody in, have you to train them, and you don't know that they're about to take your position, but you're training them. So you just have to be careful, and you just have to stay prayed up. That's all we can do is stay prayed up because we can be. It's very easily to be overlooked.
Yeah,
and it's very easy for you to overlook yourself. So I like what Cicely Tyson used to say. I have never just took a job because I needed money. Every job I have ever took, I took it because I liked it and I wanted to do that. If I ever had to take a job that I didn't want, I would say I don't even do it now. I volunteer, and I volunteer where I feel appreciated at. And the people that I'm working with, I can't work with people that don't appreciate me because the people that I'm trying to help is gonna pick up on my vibe. So I just don't do it. I just don't go. I don't do it because I already know they're gonna pick up on my vibe, and I don't want them to pick up on my negative vibe because of what I'm going through. So I'll just take myself out of the picture and away from it. And as far as Walmart goes, Walmart ain't no different from any other store that we got that comes along. Nordstrom came along and tried to knock dealers out the way. And like that's just something that happens in the merchandise chain industry. It happens, period. It happens with rappers. It happens with at the job. People come along. Next thing you know, they took your job. They took your company. A person can come and work with us and see what we doing, and then they'll go. They'll stay there for a week. The next week we can hear on Facebook or see, oh wow, they just started their own business, and their business is the same thing they was just doing with us because they came over there just to stay there for long enough to see how to start their own business. So I'm really leery on people, and I'm cautious with people. And I tell people all the time, I told guys that you can't tell people stuff because they got the money to do it. So while we're trying to get the money to do it, and we done told them what we want to do, next thing you know, they're up and running on something that we already talked about doing because they had the money to start it and we didn't. So I don't tell people. I'm kind of leery on. I told her that I don't like. You can't tell people nothing. She said, "You sure right, sis." Because she told somebody something, they ran and did what she told them. So people will do that. People will undermine you any way they can. You just got to be mindful when you pray up.
Exactly. Donald Toussaint, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Doing well. Good morning.
Good morning. You been listening?
Yeah, kind of sort of. Something caught my ear when whoever was talking just now. I don't know. I think
there was our K.
Anyway, yeah, K with an E or a T.
With an E. K with an E. What now? Where you see a T and K at, Donald? Where you see?
I don't know. It's K-A-Y-E.
Oh, see now all the time I've been saying K. That's an old-fashioned name.
Yeah, it is. You trying to call K? You trying to call K old, Donald? Hold on, I ain't gonna let you talk about my sister like that.
No. See, I was spelling the name
wrong. My mother was old when she gave birth to me, so I got a good name.
Yeah, see, how about that? No. Thank you, Kay.
Boy, look at.
Thank you.
Boy, they looking out for you today, Donald. Somebody looking out for you today, Donald. I tell you, somebody looking out for you. What's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, with your message.
What's on your heart, brother?
Had you ever seen anybody ever seen some of these celebrities or folks with or that at the grocery store? You know, or rich folks.
Mm-hmm.
You know that they can get that store to open anytime.
Yeah.
Of the night, in the middle of the night.
Yep.
Just so they and shop just as calmly and collectively as they possibly can. They'll just call them up and say, "I'm coming at 1:00 at night," and just take their time and shop.
Ain't got to worry about nobody bothering them or nothing.
Ain't got to worry about nobody trying to get no autograph or none of that. So that's about it. But you know, these folks, Walmart and different stores, before they build in your neighborhood or around your area, they just study you. They watch you because notice in one neighborhood they sell one product or the same product, and then another one they'll get a little bit more, a little bit less. They cater to the area that they sell it, the consumer. You know, they won't. They'll imitate even the type of shoes you like to wear, and they'll sell it. They'll put it right there in your neighborhood because they know that's what you like. They'll send somebody there and they just watch you walk around.
And
they make it fit.
Exactly. Adidas was famous for a long time. Adidas used to be a real famous shoe, and you know Adidas had those 3 stripes on. Y'all remember when the other shoe came out with the 4 stripes? Yeah, another shoe company came out, looked just like Adidas, but instead of having the 3 stripes, they had the 4 stripes. And if a person didn't know no better, they'll look at them shoe. Oh, you got you some Adidas? No, they made Adidas. They got an extra stripe on them, brother. It was
NBAs. It was NBAs.
Yeah. Like, man, they were cheaper though. It was a cheaper shoe, and Adidas cost a little more. Badger, you with us?
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Man, just thinking about when I worked at Walmart, you know, the markup that Walmart has on some of their stuff is sickening. Like, I don't know if any of y'all have ever worked for Walmart or not. But like, so these cells that Walmart puts things on, like TVs and all this stuff, they're still making thousands, millions of dollars on those cells. Most of the things that are what they call hardware, which is like electronics and everything that's not grocery or apparel. I've seen $5 knives have like a 400% markup.
Good Lord.
So think about how cheaply it was actually made.
Mm-hmm.
So you're probably looking at like I don't know, a dollar made knife that you're buying for $5.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so a lot of the things that are in those kind of stores and stuff, you know, when you work behind the scenes and you actually pay attention, people are buying stuff that is really, really cheaply made.
Mm-hmm.
And then people want to complain on why the quality is so bad in things nowadays. Well, other companies learn from Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you put something at a low price, you can build it like junk, and people will buy it.
Yeah.
You know, or the general public's respect for quality stuff seems to have vastly gone down, and capitalism has greatly taken advantage of it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Rico, and me and Badger was talking about this a little bit earlier. And it's piggybacking off what he just said about the quality of different things. Have you ever seen a church's chicken in a rich neighborhood?
No. There's a lot of stuff I haven't seen in a rich neighborhood that I see in inner cities.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna put this out there. That practice of markup isn't just Walmart. Everybody buys marked up.
Mm-hmm.
This note.
Mm-hmm.
I see you when I paid $1,500 for it. It didn't take $100 to make it.
If that much.
It's been a markup. CDs.
Mm-hmm.
CDs for $20. It didn't take them but 25 cents to make a CD.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It takes. That's been how business and capitalism works. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing new what Walmart is doing. What Walmart is doing is the psychology. You know, and I can understand that psychology because people like convenience. Like I said, if you observe human behavior, then you know how Walmart is winning.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about everything else, but if you want to talk about how the mom and pop shop got shut down and fix it, then you can actually be specific and say, well, look, man, the mom and pop shops can't keep up because they don't have enough to offer.
Yeah.
Go to Walmart and get your tires changed.
Mm-hmm. While you shop for groceries.
A box of ice cream, out the deli, and buy some toothpaste and deodorant.
Mm-hmm.
And if you forget something, you might just turn back around and go get you a pack of underwear and some socks.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Everything that's available to you, you can buy it in Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
You have to think about the psychology of that. You know, the reason why we don't pay attention to the markup, the reason why capitalism wins is because we want things more convenient. We talk about what's going on in the Black community with our families. Our parents are more, they have so much access to things that's recreational to them. They choose that convenience first.
Mm-hmm.
They like the convenience of what makes them feel good. So now here it is. You got these bells and whistles. Oh man, I go in Walmart and I can see more boxes of cereal and different varieties than anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Walmart, get brands you can't find in certain grocery stores. You get what I'm saying? Now don't get me wrong. You go to these certain grocery stores and you still find brands you can't find at Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the psychology of it. It really all boils down to the unconscious behavior that people have observed in us to just want to be able to get everything we can with the least amount of effort.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you want, if you got the money, with the least amount of moving around and shopping and driving at Walmart. And it's pretty simple.
Good deal. God is coming to you, and Neil coming to you next. God is what's on your heart.
Oh, nothing about that because it's true. I mean, I ain't got nothing much to say on it because it's true. Like,
that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Absolutely. Neil, what's on your heart, brother?
I mean, what it said is it's right on point because again, it goes back to but we also have to remember, I said it again, we got to stop falling for banana in the tailpipe.
Mm-hmm.
We have to. I mean, that's how they get the power. Mm-hmm. And that's been a consumer. We can't dictate how we go about dealing with these stores. And I'm saying this to you. I'm just looking at something I sent to you yesterday pertaining to Ben Roethlisberger.
Mm-hmm.
You know that a lot of us as fans, we have complained about him for years now, but the rumors have now started to take heed to what we're saying. And this becomes from the environment. And again, we need to stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Just know your value and know what you know that what you bring to the table is just as valuable as anybody else. I don't care if it's a penny. Your penny gonna make that dollar. It is gonna start that dollar or it's gonna end that dollar. It's gonna make that dollar.
Yeah.
Period. And we got to stop devaluing ourselves. And again, I'm saying it to you because, like I told you, if Tomlin wasn't there, I would have been left.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was serious about that. I ain't gonna never let him off the hook. Just like Tom Brady, I'll never let him off the hook. But he's the same man that sat there with that mega hat in the locker room. I don't care what nobody tell me. I'll never let them off the hook. Never. Everybody tell me, oh, Tom Brady the greatest. He can be the greatest all he wants. He ain't the greatest to me because I'll never let him off the hook. Never. That's why I said we need to know our value and respect and let people know that we respect our value. See, sometimes we do is that we get in here, we compromise our value to be cool or be this or be that. We got to stop doing that. Respect who you are and know your value. Like I said, if it's a penny, it's either gonna start that dollar or it's gonna make that dollar. Period. Because you need what? 100 pennies to make a dollar?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the 1 penny started and that 100 penny ended. It makes a dollar. So again, we can be either or. And that's the mentality we need to have, and we need to continue to keep. Is that we got? I'm so sick of us sitting around here compromising ourselves for these people. I hear all these folks to my old Tom Brady. Tom Brady, are you serious? Are you serious? Really? Really? That joker don't care nothing about you. He already said it.
Good deal. Good deal. K with an E. What's on your heart? Can we blame the corporations, or do we have to blame ourselves for not taking a stance and making a difference for everybody?
We can't blame the corporation, or we can't blame ourselves because it's how the world goes. And we can't. It's been going like this, and it's gonna just change now because we came along. No, it can get a little better, or it can get a little worse.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you, a long time, and I understand what you're saying, and I appreciate your viewpoint on it. But let me ask you this question. For a long time, they had the separate water fountains. It says white only and black only. Colored, it said colored only. White only and colored only. And for a long time, everybody accepted it because that's the way it is. You know, we have to drink out this fountain right here. They have to drink out that fountain right there. That was the norm during that time. It took some effort and people coming together saying, hold on, your water ain't no better than my water. Your water ain't no colder than my, no. I'm gonna drink out that fountain right there. I'm not gonna separate. I'm not gonna go to this colored fountain. I'm not gonna drink out that thing. I'm gonna drink out this one right here. And if you're smart, you're gonna make just one fountain and save yourself some money. So they came together and they took a stance. That's just one example, and maybe that's a small example, but that's just one example of people saying that the normal is not normal anymore. We're gonna make a change. We're gonna do something different. What do you think it's going to take for us as consumers to want to do something different?
It's still gonna be an individual thing if you can get the people to stand up to do it. But you got to remember, when it comes to the consumers, like you asked, is there a church's chicken in a rich neighborhood? It's not, because they vote on that stuff. They ask, do y'all want this over here? And some people say, no, we don't want that over here. Well, they ask us, do we want it over here? And we say, yeah, we want it over here. So it's a thing they do. We have an option. We still have a choice. Like everything in life, we still have a choice. So if they get together, like they did the Black movement, and they got together and said, we're going to do the Black movement, Black Lives Matter. And they had to organize that and get it together and come together. And if people wouldn't have came together, it wouldn't have happened. So that's just like if we don't want them to tell us, we don't want that store on the plaza, where we couldn't have Black stores on the plaza. We got plenty of them now. And the white people moved out of the plaza because they couldn't do nothing about it. So we sat here and we watched it. And it's been years. I used to skate on the plaza. They had a skating thing. We rented skates. So I've never really abided by black people couldn't be on the plaza. I've been on the plaza since I was 5 years old. So I never went along with that. When I heard people say that, I'm like, what are they talking about? I've been going to the plaza. But where I lived there, when we moved over here, was no blacks allowed. My mom moved right in the middle of them. Like, y'all can't stop us. And she moved over here. And then other blacks started moving over here. And then more blacks started moving over here. Going to the store, we had a black dummy hung from a tree. It didn't make us move out of our neighborhood. We stayed. And now there's a majority of black over here now. Like literally, they just took over the whole Windsor Garden. It's full of blacks. So it's all on what you want, and if you want to take a stand,
and that's a part of the difference.
With you.
And see, and that's that. I love that. That's a part of the change that I'm speaking of, and making that stance and making that difference. Not going with the norm, because, like you said, when you moved in, y'all probably the first ones that was there, but y'all took that step, and now there's a lot over there. And so that's all I'm talking about right there. We have to make that stance. We have to be mindful, come together, and stand up for something. Because for a long time, that colored water fountain was all we could drink. Donald, what's on your heart, brother?
Dollar General.
Yes.
Family Dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And the Ingenious, I don't know if y'all have one, but we got a Dollar Tree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Most of the product is $1. And so, and what I saw in that is you can go to Walmart and find the same thing, and it's $2.99 or $5.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that so? Same thing.
Yeah.
Might not have a name brand on it, but if you open the bottle up and you can drink it, ain't it amazing that it tastes the same?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Ain't that something?
And can I say this? You know why? You know why it tastes the same? Yeah, because if you really look it up, the person that put the product out that costs $3, it's the same person put that product out that costs $1.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And then some of the product that you is plastic. If you eat it, it's from China.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
It's good though.
That's how they do you, brother. That's how they do you. Rico, talk to
me.
Hey,
look, Dollar Tree. I don't want to set you off with Dollar. I'm gonna have to go, but Dollar General, they just start in a certain mile radius. You go 15, 20 miles, you see another one.
Mm-hmm.
They are all over the place.
Yeah, almost like Walmart. Walmart everywhere, man. You know, they just pop up, man. It's like mushrooms. They just pop up all over the place. Rico, talk to me.
Yeah, I think we the public do have to hold ourselves accountable for the success of this situation.
Mm-hmm.
In the Forbes list, and you see Jeff Bezos become the fastest billionaire, and then Elon Musk and the Walmart family especially. Man, we got to give ourselves credit for making that family one of the richest families on the planet, because if it wasn't for us, it wouldn't be no them. I mean, it got to buy the products they sell.
Mm-hmm.
Got to walk in them doors. So it's on us. And you know one thing about it, if you don't know any better, you can't do better.
Yeah.
People don't actually think about economics.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do cost comparison.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember in high school, we had to go to 4 different grocery stores and compare costs. And when we did that, I saw that some of these grocery stores had certain products that were cheaper, and then some that were higher than the others. They fluctuated depending on what they sold. So I started doing the math. I said, well, if I decided to get each product at the cheapest value that I could, would it be more cost efficient for me to use gas driving to all? Or would it be cheaper for me to just go ahead and spend a little bit more for these products?
Yep.
Save gas going to this place.
Mm-hmm.
That was convenience thinking in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
That hey, look, you ain't spending but like $1 and something, or maybe $2 for a gallon of gas, and it won't take you a gallon. 3 different grocery stores to get everything cheaper for your value, right? And so it is. You decide, well, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and get everything from Walmart because I don't feel like stopping at all them other places. And so you save about $1.50 in gas, but you spent about $20 more, $15 more if you went and did if you added everything up. You know, and then some people say, well, I'm gonna go to the most convenient place. I don't want to go all the way to Walmart. You'll go to this local grocery store that not only charges you the 10% sales tax, but it also charges you an extra 10%. I can't remember what they call that, but some of these grocery stores down here, they charge you an extra 10% on top of the tax. So you're really being taxed twice. Now here it is, this box of Little Debbie's might say $1.55, but if you put the 10% on there twice, then it's more than what you spent at Walmart. Don't nobody think about that. But see, I'm so good with numbers in my head. Number one, I go in the store to get exactly what I went looking for, since I know how Walmart operates. What I need, I'm gonna get out of that. That's called focus. I want to make sure I look out for my best benefit. So I'm gonna put the logic together and reason, and then think, okay, would I save a little bit more money if I just put this stuff back in Walmart that costs a little bit more and going on up the street here to this grocery store that's on the way to the house and taking a little bit more time out of my day to make an extra stop, which makes it a little less convenient, and money in my pocket. So I'm gonna tell you a situation I had one time, man. It was one time, man. I had money stacked up on my table. Change.
I got a background coming from somebody's mind. I got a background coming from somebody's mind. Everybody, take it off speaker. Somebody got it on speaker. Take it off speaker for me. Take it off speaker for me. All right.
So I had change stacked up on my table. One thing I've always done is keep cups or jars or something with quarters. I used to have a thing with collecting new quarters or dollar bills or something like that. So after I started seeing the quarters were new or the gold dollars, I'd collect them. So one day I had a table and I set it up on the table and I would stack all those quarters up in the shape of a pyramid. Then I did it with the dimes and nickels. So I had a table full of just change sitting there with a design to it. And people would come out and be like, "Ooh, man, that's neat. I ain't never did that." How much money is that? Man, that's about $300 in change. Really? Man, I wish I could take the time out to save change like that. Ooh, when I go to the store, I let them keep that change. That little change don't mean nothing to me. Let me see a penny on the ground.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let me see a dime on the ground. That's a dime more than I had. Heads up. So I saw that some people, they look at that as being petty. Man, if you don't need that little change, man, go and spend that extra little money, man. That extra little $20 don't matter. You got it. But I mean, what the value of it is I can save. I come out better buying it from this place than the other place. And all I got to do is spend an extra $1 in gas.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you know, it's the logic. If you don't know any better, you can't do any better. Some people like chasing the Jones, and then some people prefer to spend more. Got it.
Yeah. I ain't that person. I ain't that person, brother. I ain't that person. Badger, we talking about spending and saving and all that stuff. How much importance, how much emphasis, value, if you will, do we put on money itself?
Too much. Like the situation, you know, me and my family's in, you know, with the things that they're allergic to, you know, the cost to buy things that are healthy or natural is double to quadruple the cost it is for this food that can actually hurt my family. And it's interesting because, you know, me and my wife, we got really lucky and found pre-made bread that they can eat. Beforehand, we were having to buy the flour and all the stuff to make bread. Dude, when we calculated up the cost, we were thankful that they had pre-made loaves. They have made it so expensive to buy your own ingredients to make things. You know, and people are like, well, just, you know, do a garden. And I'm like, we're working on that. You know, we got to grow rice. Let's say we grow everything we need to make bread.
Okay.
We would probably have to use our entire backyard. Would probably need to have to build a greenhouse because we'd have to, you know, grow soy, almonds, rice, possibly a coconut tree, you know, to get coconut milk or almond milk. We'd have to, I'm trying to remember what's in xanthan gum or agar gum, potatoes for potato starch or I don't even know how you do tapioca or where it comes from. I'd have to look that up. You know, so the amount of stuff we'd have to grow and how we'd have to grow it, you know, and I'm in East Texas, you know, so we'd have to make certain kinds of soil and nutrients and, you know, all kind of investment to be able to grow these things just for my wife and kids to eat as healthy as they have to, you know, so,
so we put too much value on money.
Oh yeah, not enough value on ourselves, not enough value on our food. I mean, even clothing. You know, can you honestly tell me that if you go buy a pair of blue jeans today, you know, a pair of Wranglers, that they will last near as long as they did 15, 20 years ago?
No.
I have a pair of blue jeans that I got when I was 17 that are still in good shape to this day. 17 years later, and they still ain't got no holes or anything. They might be a light blue now instead of a dark blue.
Yeah.
But the stitching, you know, there's no ripped holes. You know, you could slide across. You could play baseball in them.
Yeah.
And slide across the ground, throw them in the washing machine, wash them, put them back on the next day, and keep on going.
Keep on playing. Good deal.
Now you buy a pair of blue jeans and do the same thing.
Wash them one.
You either wash them one time, or when you slide to that base, I wish I could, man, stuff I miss doing. You know, you slide to that base, you're probably going to rip a hole in them.
Exactly. Goddess, what do you say to that? Do we put too much value on the money system?
Do we put too much value on the money system? I agree with Badger, but again, the barter system is key because the money system right now is, you know, gold is worth more than anything, and I had somebody look up melon worth more than gold. So yeah, we put too much value on the money system where we are the value, and a lot of people fail to realize. Badger, look up melanin. The value of melanin worth more than gold, or the value of melanin compared to gold. Tell me what you see.
There's people that rich people.
Why am I getting the feedback from somebody?
You know, you done poke. You always poking bears, Goddess. There are actually rich people that, you know, when you go to get that genetic testing, you know, that are looking for specific genetics. And if you have those genes that they're looking for, they will pay a fortune to get some of it. So it's very, just so their kids, you know, will have different skin colors or different traits or things like that, you know, and people, you know, this is conspiracy now, you know, this stuff don't happen because it's not on the news, you know, but, you know, it being from the heritage that I have, you know, I'm very aware of all this stuff, but if you ask me to prove it, good luck. I don't talk about a lot of this stuff because the proof is almost non-existent.
But don't mean it's not true.
Don't mean it's not true though.
Good deal.
A lot of things happen that behind closed doors.
Tucson, talk to me, brother. Rico, coming to you next. Do we put too much value on this money system?
On value on what now?
This money system that we have, money.
It ain't worth a dime.
Mm-hmm.
How? You know, we print it like paper.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But value it like gold.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. The money system, of course. You know how many people waiting for $1,400 more dollars?
Yeah.
When we upside down and up to our neck, over our head in debt as a country.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And time we get it, we going right back to where exactly what we talked about. Walmart. And they're gonna put the TVs at the front of the door.
Yep, exactly.
It's amazing how they do that, right? You ever notice that? When they figure that you're gonna get something as a consumer, they switch their product from the back to the front to make it appear. Oh, I see it right there at the door. I can get that on the way out. Just like McDonald's, I can get me a sandwich. It go out.
And let me go, Rico, let me ask you this question. Why do you think, and I know it's strategic, let me say the word right, but they put the candy bars and the sodas, all this stuff right there by the register, right there at checkout. Do you think they think you're going to buy something just because?
Yeah, I mean, if you see it, like I said, they study people. You know, they study our impulses. They put the most expensive things right there at eye level.
Yeah.
The most expensive things they want children to buy, they put it at the eye level of the age range of that average height of that child at that age.
Yep.
That's psychology. Like I said, we got to dig deeper than the surface and look at who we are. What do we really value? I'm gonna tell you what it is. We do value we don't value money. We value having money. Things more convenient for us and getting us the things we want. We want to be spoiled, and we want to get what we want and enjoy our lives.
Yeah.
And so we'll put more effort to finding ways to make things more convenient. And the producers of this world know that people are looking to purchase things that'll make things easier for them.
Come on.
We don't think about our health. I said, sometimes you have to sit back and look at things and wonder, how does the structure of this organization work? I look at the meat and I look at the food in Walmart, and I know that they have to bring their meat in from a lot longer distance than these local grocery stores, right? So I would prefer to buy my meats, my chicken and stuff like that from local grocery stores, because 9 times out of 10 they getting it from local farmers, and they can put less preservatives in them because somehow this stuff got to last. Might not know how to last, but somehow this stuff got to last from wherever it's coming from. But if it's local grocery store, it might have less in it because they don't have to go as far. Don't get all my meat. I haven't bought any meat products out of Walmart in so long, man. You name it. I don't care if it's hot dogs. I don't care what it is, man. I haven't, especially ground beef. You name it. I don't buy that from Walmart because I know that their process of preserving meat, put the stuff in it, and it might be a little cheaper than what you're paying for the local price, but at the same time, it's healthier. But some people will sacrifice and overlook, just like that person at the job that's just as qualified. They overlook their health interests for the convenience of not. I don't feel like stopping nowhere else, girl. I got to get home and watch this Young and the Restless I recorded earlier. Love and Hip Hop coming on. I don't feel like stopping making all these stop now. And as a matter of fact, I ain't gonna even cook. I'm gonna stop by McDonald's and Little Caesars and get you some more unhealthy food. $5 foot long. We're gonna go by Subway. I in that commercial, you know what? That is a deal. $5. You know what I'm saying? Little Caesars, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, what a deal. That nasty mess. You know, I'm gonna shove this down my children's throat, and I'm gonna shove it down my throat too. Because I like cooking. It's a lot more convenient. And then and even though I did buy all these groceries from Walmart, I ain't cooking today.
Mm-hmm.
The thing to do, I got to go to the hair salon. I need to go to the nail salon.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go hang out. So I mean, you know, it's the convenience. You know, we got to hold ourselves more accountable for not being more proactive about our health.
Mm-hmm.
But if we was actually worried about our health and our longevity and what benefited us the most, then we spend that extra dollar to go and shop at different stores.
Exactly.
We would bypass McDonald's home and go ahead and cook this fresh food.
And that's a place I haven't eaten in. McDonald's. I used to eat McDonald's all the time. Man, I ain't been in McDonald's. I know about 4 or 5 years, man.
Long time for me, too, man. I don't eat McDonald's, Burger King, none of these restaurants. I don't do them anymore. They don't even taste the same, and it seems like I get sick when I eat them now.
Mm-hmm. And guys, let me ask you this question, guys. We spoke earlier about churches. How in the world could churches sell you 100 pieces of chicken for $3? You muted, Goddess. You muted, Goddess. You muted. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna assume that they have their own farm and they raise their own chickens, and that's why they extra big. Them wings is huge, baby. I don't know. I just know that they good. I like church chicken. That's probably why our girls are growing up and looking bigger and thicker than ever. But yeah, so that's the only thing I can think of is that they have their own chicken farm. And if they got their own chicken farm, they can do what they want to do. All they got to do is pay for processing. So I don't know, if I was into fast food or whatever, I have my own farm.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. To make it happen. I can set my prices and let the chickens do what they do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You got a point. Badger, what do you say to that, Badger? And God, it's your phone. I don't know whether it's on speaker or something like it, but it's your phone that's giving us that feedback. When we unmute it, we don't get there. That's why I muted you. But it's something with your feedback. But Badger, what do you say? You used to work at churches. Now, how do they sell so much chicken for a little bit of money?
You know, as far as that goes, I know it's the way that they get it. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't surprise me that they own their own.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I never looked into that, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that it is the preservatives and everything that they have on that chicken.
Mm-hmm.
That their meat, the juices that their meats are soaked in.
Mm-hmm.
People shouldn't be eating them.
Yeah. Because I know I used to eat churches too. My wife's sister loved churches chicken. When she used to come to Columbia, she's every time she goes, she got to go to churches to get some of that chicken. But every time I eat it, it's almost like it give me acid reflux or something. It's like it try to come back up.
Oh, it is heavily diluted in salt. That stuff is man, it's got so much salt, not only in like the brine that it sits in and stuff, but and then you have to add in the breading and, you know, all that other stuff that's in there, you know. It's not healthy.
Nah, it's not, because like I said, every time I eat it, I had to stop eating it, man, because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, man, because, you know, it has a way of trying to come, you know, I ate it, about an hour later, it's like it's trying to come back up out me. I said, hold on, something ain't right with this.
The only like fast food chicken place I'll eat at, which unfortunately we don't have where we live, and I miss it a whole lot, is Bojangles.
Bojangles, yeah. Okay, Bojangles is good. Bojangles is good. So, go ahead, bro.
So, you know, when you start looking at those places and like McDonald's and all that, you know, sorry, little one's having a temper tantrum. So like I said, I've got friends that live overseas and all that kind of stuff, you know. The quality of food that are in our restaurants, you know, I know a couple people that, you know, they've come and traveled for vacation over to America, you know, and they went to a McDonald's here. They said that was the most disgusting thing they have ever ate.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, you talk about going to McDonald's over where you are all the time. And they're like, yeah, this food don't taste the same. This food tastes disgusting. You know, and I started looking into it. The requirements for the food to be sent over there, you know, like Red 40. Red 40 is banned in most other countries.
Yeah.
A lot of the GMO products are banned in most other countries. You know, Donald brought up something about, you know, feeding us plastic and that, you know, and the pink slime and all that. Guess who regulates that?
Yeah, FDA.
FDA.
Yeah.
Who runs the FDA?
Your government.
You might want to go research that. I'm going to leave that there. I'm not going to talk about it anymore, but you might want to go research who actually runs FDA.
It's not your government.
Go do research.
Just tell us. Just tell us. Ain't nobody about to research it. Just tell us.
Now you can't.
Man, just go ahead and say.
You can't leave it out there like that. You can't leave it out there.
Just say who it is.
The government has a tie in it, but corporations are what's behind it. They're the ones that do all that. That's why I want people to go look at it for themselves. That's why I didn't want to say anything, because this is something, you know, as far as food quality and health and all this other stuff, you know, like what was last week? I mentioned something about GMO corn. The government passed a bill saying that farmers couldn't, in certain states and different things like that, they have a really hard time to be able to tell the Monsanto no. However, I think it was in South America. It's either South America or Mexico, is one of the two, or both. This older woman, man, that one was such a blessing to the people down there. She actually went to the government, fought, and kicked Monsanto out. GMO corn, would you like to know one of the things that they do to that yellow corn that so many people like?
What's that?
They increase the amount of gluten that's in it to get that sugar high. Which is why that corn tastes so sweet. It's because it's genetically modified to be sweeter, to produce that stuff in your brain that makes you have that happy feeling.
And that's one of the reasons why. Let me go to K. That's one of the reasons why when I go and get fruit, vegetables, apples, oranges, or something like that, watermelon, and whatever I want to get, it have to have seeds in it. I don't want no seedless fruit. I don't want it, because I know a fruit is supposed to reproduce itself, and so if it don't have a seeds in it, somehow it was man-made. It was tampered with by man in some kind of way. So I don't want it. Okay, what do you say to that?
I'm the same way. I eat a lot of natural products. So, and I do a lot of, when I shop, I shop with, you know, just about a lot of natural products. And when I eat beef, I put ginger on it. I just cook different. And a lot I don't eat, but I'm just cautious. I'm a cautious eater. And when I go out to a spot, if they serve pork on the menu, it's going to be hard for me to pick something off the menu. Because somebody in that kitchen then put that beef where that pork was just.
And then cross-contaminated in some kind of way.
Yes, and I've been sick like that. So I'm just real picky when it comes to it. And I ask questions, do y'all put pork on that grill? What are y'all doing? Because I will get sick. I'm trying to figure out why I have a headache. It's getting to the point. I love to eat out, but I'm getting to the point I can't even hardly eat out.
Rico, what's on your heart, brother? What do you say? What do you say to that, man? My apples, oranges, watermelon, whatever, have to have seeds, brother. Have to.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. And it's only coming from certain places. Because I have to eat bananas. I've always had low potassium. So my whole life I've had to go extra when it comes to bananas. And there's only one place I can get my bananas, because first off, sometimes I go to get bananas and they don't even have a taste to them. Oranges don't taste like oranges like they used to. Watered down, no flavor. Man, what's going on with this? How can an orange not have any flavor? So how can a banana not have any flavor? You know, and so I want to get my fruit from Publix now. I go to you know, well, I think it's Whole Foods. When I'm out of state somewhere, I go to Whole Foods and get food. But other than that, I'm getting all my vegetables, my seafood, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. I get that from Publix. And it's like that. Like we sacrifice our health to save some money sometimes.
Yep.
We'll avoid them health food stores. Some people avoid Publix. It does cost more. Yes, it costs more. But at the same time, you get a better quality. Your food, like I get crab legs. I don't get crab legs from Winn-Dixie. I go to Publix because no matter where I go, they got the best looking crab legs and they taste the best. After you cook them, you're like, okay, it's something different about these. Some people will sacrifice to save money. They'll sacrifice just to keep an extra dollar in their pocket. And sometimes you really have to spend more for butter food. Don't get me wrong, it's wrong that they charge that much. But when you bring up GMOs, it's I think it's a key ingredient in GMOs called PCB, polychlorinated biphenyl. Monsanto was located right here in my hometown at one point in time. And right here where I'm from now, we have the highest rates of heart disease, cancer, diabetes anywhere in the United States. And it's under the war cover. Y'all might not hear about it, but if you look it up, we're a contaminated city. We had a lawsuit, I said about 20 years ago. Johnny Cochran came in and he did the last lawsuit. But Monsanto ended up probably paying out close to $1 billion worth of money in this area to different. I got some of the money. I had free health care until the funds ran out. TBs, they never go anywhere. You pass them along to your offspring.
Wow.
They don't go anywhere. Government, George Bush, number one, Bush one, he was the one that deregulated the systems put in place to make sure that those chemicals didn't get into our community. Not only the production, because the production is what tainted everybody around here. Like right now, you can ride around in certain neighborhoods and it's just flat land cleared out because they had to dig like 2 feet deep. Contaminated soil out. Hopefully they got that out, that it wasn't gonna never leave the soil. And these people that own these homes and stuff, nobody lives in these areas anymore. I mean, it's completely like a ghost land.
I wonder what they did with the soil though. What did they do with the soil that they took out?
The smokestacks was out PCBs in the community. It used to smell like fart around here all the time, man. It would be like smoggy and dark. And like somebody just passed gas the whole time, man, and it contaminated Fort McClellan, surrounding areas, man. It went so far, then it got in the streams. Some of the waste into the water. So some of that water was getting into the ground, and you know, everybody had gardens. Everybody had gardens. So all the food, the string beans and greens and stuff you was eating out of them yards, man, it was contaminated with PCB. Now you go to these same neighborhoods and it ain't. Maybe where it was 20 houses, you might see 3. Although people haven't sold yet, you know what I'm saying? But lobbyists and people, you know, that's why I was saying he needed to go ahead and say that about the FDA, because a lot of us already know that when it comes to corporations and lobbyists, you know what I'm saying? Just put it out there. Sometimes you have to keep repeating stuff before it finally wears in on people. You know, they hear it. You know, man, I keep hearing corporations. I keep hearing corporations run this. I keep hearing corporations run that. Then they might go ahead and start paying more attention to it. A lot of times, if you just tell somebody to research something, if they ain't interested in it, they ain't going to look that up.
Do it now.
You're going to have to get them. Like I said, we like convenience. It ain't convenient. It's convenient if you want to know the truth.
Exactly.
If you like things fast and quick, researching ain't your thing. You're going to have to give these people the information they need to know and do what they need to do.
Good deal. Goddess. Now I'm at to get on you, Goddess. You know, yawn about 5 times. Unmute yourself. Goddess.
I did yawn about 5 times. I woke up at 3 this morning. See, we hour behind you guys.
Yeah. Now, what do you think about them? SOs and all the stuff we're talking about.
Repeat what you just said.
What do you think about them GMOs and then messing up our food?
They all in our foods. I mean our cereals. We eating paint thinner and most of our kids' cereals. Our food is packed with GMOs and all kind of poison. So I don't even like. I don't even eat canned food. Like I keep it because of certain circumstances, but I don't even eat canned food. It's just I try my best to eat fresh food. I try my best to eat fresh food and healthy foods. Now my problem is my weak point is basically eating out. So you can't tell what you're eating, but when I do go eat certain places, I know that you could taste their freshness in their food. Fogo de Chao, I don't know if anybody ever has that in their city, but they're pretty well known. And they're Brazilian steakhouse. So I like going to their marketplace. I don't really get that much of the meat and stuff, but it's a higher end restaurant. But that's like my favorite because I can go to the marketplace, $15 and eat just every vegetable that they have, and all their vegetables are fresh. Even their drinks. When they serve their drinks, they crush up fresh blueberries or fresh whatever it is that you having, alcohol. They use fresh berries, and so you know that what you're getting is fresh. So I just basically love that particular place. Now they're known for their wines, and a lot of people don't know that wine is squeezed out of pig guts, pig intestines. A lot of people don't know that. So with that being said, it's a lot of different things that we just have to educate ourselves on. We just have to educate ourselves on, and I take the time out to educate, and I take the time out to listen. And a lot of people don't like to listen. They have their own perceived thoughts. That's just like, again, the gentleman that was talking to me, I was like, well, hey, let me holler at you. This person is a better person for this position because they are benevolent. Well, I'm dealing with this person because she has a master's degree and and do you know where that person works? It don't even matter. When you're dealing with humanity, you need to deal with somebody who's going to care about humans, and I don't care what degree they got. And you're looking at somebody with master's degrees. So that was a whole insult. I didn't even tell them that. Like 2 or 3 people that had master's degrees that he was sitting upstairs with, he just assumed that they didn't, and that bothers me. That just bothers me. Like, black women don't get degrees. You know what I'm saying? That bothers me. So for it to come from a black man, it kind of like, now that's my kicking point.
Why didn't you say something?
I didn't say nothing, because sometimes this was, how some people's points, some people's situation is one thing, but yet you trying to represent and perceive to be one other thing, but you have, I don't want to put it out there, you got some people trying to be a Black Panther, all right, but really, you a White Panther. I'm gonna put it just like that. You are a Ku Klux Klan without the hood, and don't even realize that you are. You just infiltrated them. And I was just sitting up, and I didn't say nothing because sometimes, like Kay said, I would have been done with them. Now it's at that point where it's that point where I need to be done. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let you be real ignorant. I'm gonna let you look ignorant, and I'm gonna move it forward. I don't need to have my presence around you no more.
Exactly. Now you said that wine is squeezed out of pig guts.
Yeah, they got. I mean, just research it. Yeah, just research. You're different.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm muted. I thought you
yeah, you just need to research about different wines. Yeah. Yeah, research them. I mean, a lot of people don't know about wines, and they got kosher wines and non-kosher wines.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Rico, did you know that?
I didn't know nothing about that.
Mm-hmm.
Not that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she got me with that one, man. You know, want to go out there and get you a glass of wine, you drink some pig guts. Lord, my Jesus. That ain't what you want.
What happened to the grapes?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. Leonard.
Good morning, Raheem. Morning, Go fam.
Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Leonard,
Doing all right.
We're talking about a couple of things. Well, actually, we transitioned over to quite a few things. But one of the things that we're talking about is how companies like Walmart come in and they strong arm the system and run the small mom and pop businesses out of business. And we're also talking about what was the other topic, Rico?
It was you brought up the fact that people will get overlooked at jobs.
Yeah, people get overlooked. Yeah, people getting overlooked in the workplace, and what it is, they're qualified, but they find themselves being overlooked time and time again. They find themselves overlooked and never getting the promotion. What do you say about that? Talk about either one of them.
Well, first of all, on the Walmart thing, that's one of the biggest. What people don't fail to realize is that there's a thing called economic theory,
Mm-hmm.
and it don't care nothing about your emotions, the color of your skin, or anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on the principles of business.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to worry about it because it's going to happen. So you have to plan to see how you're going to offset that. It's competition. This is a capitalist system.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to compete with other interests. And anytime you get there are certain people, the best businesses with entrepreneurs are those businesses that are unique. If you're a small business, you should be unique.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be a general business because the big guy is going to always beat you.
Gonna trample you.
So you're going to have a product that is unique.
Mm-hmm.
That's what saves your business. If you're in the same game with guys that run faster, that's bigger, that eat better, and everything else, they're gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
So and we always have to think about it. It's a huge market, and if there's different things. You're either on the capital end, the land end, or the labor end.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that relationship with labor it was never meant to be as profitable as a lot of people sometimes assume. So your assumption is that these people would somehow care about you.
Mm.
And they don't. Why would they? They're going to do no more than is required by them by law. And labor is always a liability. So that's why we have to train our children and get them, and their labor needs to be specialized.
And
you can't just, that whole
give us an example. Give us an example, Leonard, of some of those specialized traits that you're talking about.
Stop raising people to be minimum wage earners.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not going to get it. It's not anyone's job to provide a job for you.
Mm-hmm.
They do that for their best interest, not your best interest. Slaves wasn't down here because they wanted slaves to do well.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the interest of business. Business don't respect you until you bring something other than generalized labor into the game. So you have to be a skilled worker.
Mm-hmm.
If you want the job that a monkey can do, guess what? They're going to be looking for monkeys they ain't got to pay.
Mm-hmm.
So every time I hear a young man Or remember how we used to talk to young people? Okay, now that you're pregnant, what you gonna do? I'm gonna get a job. Everybody gonna get a job, and they still gonna be living in poverty.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you ain't skilled to do nothing. We had programs even in our neighborhood that prepared you for the fast food industry and taught you customer service and make sure you had the basics and general math skills and things like that. Not so you could work in fast food for the rest of your life. You can't plan life that way, especially if all you have is labor in the game. What is your labor worth? I'm not how much you think it's worth. How much is it actually worth in the market? If you're easily replaced, guess what? Your wages are going to probably be lower than the average person. Your goal should not be a minimum wage job.
Now, if you want to succeed.
No.
Good deal. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
They're never trying to pay you more than they make it.
Yeah, exactly. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
You know, the problem is that some people think that that's how you get a start. They don't understand the system of this rat race. Term that we don't use anymore. You know, we don't got caught up in so much in the trend and technology that some things that were necessary for us to know, we don't know. We didn't pass it on. I mean, if you mention the word rat race, you know what I'm saying? When if you tell it to a lot of people, some people can put it 2 and 2 together and understand what it is if they think hard enough. But they won't relate to it. They won't understand when you become part of the rat race. You just somebody that came out of high school and say, okay, now I'm looking to see who hiring. But you ain't got no welding certification. You ain't got no electrician certification, refrigeration. You know what I mean? So many different things. AC. There's so many different things you can do. Nursing. So we don't. That comes from lack of ambition. Maybe lack of knowledge, lack of knowing that that's what you need to really want to try. Because some people have this idea in their mind that they're gonna get a job and rise through the ranks. It ain't like that no more.
Yeah.
They start at the bottom of the company and rise up to plant manager. Now they're gonna put degrees and certifications and all kind of mess and stuff in front of you to create obstacles. When really and truly, you could have just been trained to do this job. You can learn from experience. You can learn the ins and outs. If you dedicated enough in a company person, you can rise from the bottom and become a plant manager. But they put that qualification out there. But I'm gonna go back to them GMOs and what Wade said about, Betty said about researching earlier. Sometimes you can research and you still won't get the right information. Look, I don't want to make anybody think that I was saying that Monsanto originated in Anderson. It originated in Missouri. That's what the company was from the very beginning, and it's still there. And I went and looked it up on Wikipedia just a second ago, and I seen that Monsanto actually incorporated its own city just so they can avoid EPA regulations.
Wow.
The same thing that they poisoned my city with. I went online on Wikipedia, you know what I'm saying? Because some people take the easiest, most convenient route sometimes to see what they was gonna have on that. And I told you now at one point in time, Anderson, Alabama had the largest lawsuit in the history of the world. It was $600 million that Monsanto had to pay 20-some thousand people around here. And then not to mention the 80 and hundreds of millions that they paid on 3 or 4 lawsuits before then. So now with that being big and Anderson having that designation as being one of the most toxic cities in the United States, I'm going to read to you what they got related to Anderson and Monsanto.
Okay.
In 1935, Monsanto bought the Swan Chemical Company in Anderson, Alabama, and thereby entered the business of producing PCBs. That's it. They got convicted of poisoning people. They said nothing about the lead poisoning. They said nothing about the money that they had to pay. They didn't say nothing about how the government told them in 1979 that they had to stop producing this chemical. I mean, it's just as bad as plutonium. Just like it takes 10,000 years to get rid of plutonium waste.
Mm-hmm.
Longer than that to get rid of PCBs, and they produced it and released it into the public. But you talk about research. Guess what you go? I mean, so you would have to dig so much deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly what part Monsanto played with the contamination of Anderson, and when George Bush came down here and said, "Hey, we in the deregulation business." You have to do a whole lot of research, but if you're not interested in it, and it ain't quick enough or convenient enough, you ain't gonna look it up. So a lot of people gonna look at Monsanto and
just pass right over. Yeah, pass right over. Tucson, talk to me, brother.
No, I'm just listening to this. You can with some wide variety of things we looking at.
Mm-hmm.
When God has mentioned something, I was trying to figure out how we wind up with Thunderbird and MD 2020 in our neighborhoods.
Mm. And the addictive part of it. They say there's something in MD 2020, Richardson MD 2020, those wines like that. That's much more addictive than the regular wines. I wonder what is it.
I don't know, but it makes you act a fool.
Yeah. How you know? Okay.
They say, man,
look, it's all in the name. It's all in the name. Bad dog.
We was in college, man, and they had this store. We had this store called Maggio. And we would be getting ready for class. And they say, man, let's go to Maggio's.
Mm-hmm.
What you want? Let's go get that dog. And the saying was, that dog make you act a fool.
Yeah, exactly. Now you know about that dog. There's no experience there, is it?
I don't talk about what I don't know.
Okay. So that's saying it all right there. Okay, Baz, you ever seen that dog before?
Which dog?
MD 2020, Mad Dog 2020.
I seen lots of people drink it, but not my thing. I done screwed up and looked into what Rico was talking about, and that's so right now there are lawsuits everywhere. Monsanto is now owned by Bayer. Now this is an article. I'm looking at an article that was updated June 24th. 2020. And they're talking about having to settle thousands of claims over Roundup, which is a weed killer manufactured by Monsanto. They're having to the city of Seattle in 2016 sued Monsanto over PCBs. 2016. They're still getting sued over PCPs.
Wow.
You know, and it's, you know, I want to use this as like one of the biggest talking points I have quite often, you know, about corporations and people needing to step up, stand up, and do something. Quit thinking things don't affect you personally. Because it's a lot. God, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but it needs. I just feel it needs to be said. People need to quit lying to themselves. Quit thinking about what's going on in this world right now doesn't affect you personally or individually. You're lying to yourself. You're under an illusion. Like when you start researching and looking into things, like deep research, not just the surface stuff, but deep research. You know, Monsanto is one of the biggest ones behind genetically modified corn. You know, weed killers and everything else. But here's this big corporation that the FDA says that their corn and, you know, other food products are safe, being sued for PCBs, for their weed killers and all this stuff, yet our government still allows this corporation to still continue to sell it. And we continue to buy it. So I like the question I have for everyone on the panel is, how in the world can a person say they're not affected by the things that the corporations do and still say that they are free? When you actually start looking at all this stuff.
That's a heck of a question. Goddess, answer that question, Goddess.
I already said we're not free. I already said that. We mentally not free, but actually mentally we aren't either, because our what's this up here? On top of our brain, I forgot the name of it.
What is chromium? I know what you're talking about. Chromium, something like that.
Pineal gland. Our pineal gland has been hardened due to the foods and the fluoride that's in our water, the fluorides in our toothpaste, the fluorides in our mouthwash, and our pineal gland they've tried to harden it. But see, we're born with soft pineal glands. We're not born with hard pineal glands. Due to our melanin in our skin. Our melanin is a key factor because of the carbon. It cannot be duplicated. They've been trying for years, but that's that God gene. And people don't realize that. And so that's our divine spiritual God. That's what frees us from everything. You got like some Africans still here today that they can elevate themselves. They can levitate because they pineal gland is where it's at. They could do telepathy. We can't even do that. I think couples, like married couples, should work toward getting closer and closer. That's where that oneness comes in. You know, when you married and stuff, you know how twins are born, and that twin can feel when something else happened. Well, when you come in tune with yourself as a couple, when two a man and a woman come together and they united, they become one person, and they start to build with that pineal gland and everything, so you can feel that individual just like a mother and a child. They become a one entity, spiritually and all. So I just feel like we are nowhere near at that level. We have taken away from the Mother Earth. I'm just, when it comes to different things like that, the frequency level has changed in our particular world set. So certain things I just don't even like, or certain music I don't really care too much for, to a certain extent, you know, especially when I'm trying to get a peace of mind. What is that they're saying? So, but anyway, back to what I was saying is that it's important for us to realize that freedom is only what you think it is. I mean, it's no more than what you think it is, because we are nowhere near free. We ain't free to do anything we want to do. When you walk out that house, you better have your ID. If you get pulled over and you ain't got your ID, 9 times out of 10, it's either because you either know somebody or that cop then gave you a break. You know, just certain things. I mean, people have to be really think about what free is. You know.
Exactly. Kay, I'm going to Leonard. Kay, what's on your heart?
Just listening, and I sent Goddess a little thing to let you know that the little belly stuff don't come from the pig; it comes from the fish. I don't eat pork. I haven't ate pork since 2006. I Google candy, I Google everything before I eat it because I don't want to eat pork. I have 8 gummy worms that got the worst headache. Then I read it was pork in it. So now I pick and choose and I look it up so I'll make sure I know what I'm doing. I love wine, so I know for a fact it ain't made with no type of pork. It's come out the belly of the fish. I sent her a little thing on it to keep reading it because I'm a wine person. I don't go to California without going to the winery. I have to go to the winery.
Okay.
So no. And as far as all that other stuff, go like with the consumer stuff and all of that, like pay attention to a grocery store. They have all these different ads. My mother taught me this as a kid. Don't run to the grocery store when everybody gets their food stamps because those are the sales for the food stamp people. And it never fails that every time I pay attention to that and I go to the grocery store, I always get better deals because I wait because they put all that bad meat up there and everything. And you get bad, all kind of stuff because it's food stamp. And nobody paying attention to their meat till they get it home. And it's brown all on the inside.
Wow.
And you got to cook it for the dog or the cat. So I don't go to the, and I learned how to go to the grocery store way out in a better neighborhood because they do get better products. I took my daughter to a Walmart way out to show her that the Walmart on 40 Highway, they don't even get this product. So how can you buy it? If you didn't come out here, you couldn't buy it. I bought a sweatsuit at the Walmart way out on 135th. Bought her over here on 291. She couldn't even find that brand name in the store.
Wow.
I said, because all Walmart do not get every item. I went to the main Walmart in Arkansas, and it just blew my mind. I said, wow, we don't even have a Walmart near, not even the ones in the rich neighborhood don't have these products. I bought all kind of stuff out of that Walmart just to bring it back home to show them. I bought this at Walmart. No, you didn't. Yes, I did in Arkansas. We'll never get those products in Kansas City.
Wow.
And that's one of their main stores. So I just sit and watch and pay attention to what my mother taught me. And it's just the same old soup in a different bowl. That's all.
Exactly. Exactly. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Pretty much, you know, I'm not shocked by a lot of things because I've always read since I was a little boy. So I always knew about poisons and things of that nature and why you shouldn't eat certain things. But what I also realized is that I had a choice. So if I don't choose better, I don't get better. And that's just where you have to be. I never was raised to believe that the people on the outside had my best interest at heart.
Come on.
There's not a commercial you can make. There's not I mean, for lack of a better word, I mean, some people, the majority of people must just be dumb. Because you should always pay attention to what you put in your mouth in the first place.
Come on.
I mean, you know, you knew you wasn't. People that drink alcohol don't drink alcohol because it's good for them. There's no, you know, black folks have to realize there ain't no guiding hand that's looking out for you in this economy. You have to be the one to choose, not them. Just because they put it on the shelf don't mean you got to buy it.
That's right.
If you know meat ain't no good, stop eating it. There's no one out here with your best interest at heart. You cannot live through life this way.
Exactly.
Because you're going to be disappointed every day. You're going to be miserable every day.
That's true. That's
you know, it's not, you know, it used to be a race-based type of thing. Where, you know, trust me, if you using toothpaste, they using the toothpaste.
Everybody uses it.
I mean, there are things that people have been eating and doing, and then you look back and you say, well, this company this company that, or what have you. That company don't have your interest at heart in the first place. This is why they pay politicians to pass legislation to allow them to do business. And you don't vote against them, what you think you're going to have? Where's the down at the Capitol building raising hell about that issue?
Exactly.
It's like Monsanto. That was one of the worst things about the Obama administration for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very much pro that administration, but I wasn't in love with everything they did. And their relationship was with Monsanto was one of them.
Mm.
It's not just Monsanto doing this here in America. Monsanto is doing this all over the world.
Yeah, that's true. Good deal. We got a couple of callers. We got the next call is a 404 area code, and then we're going to the 678 404. I think that's Pete. Pete, what's on your heart, brother?
All right, how we doing, man?
Hey, doing good. How you doing, brother?
Good. I'm just going to pick up right where you were.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at what just happened with the Melvin.
Hey, Pete, we're having a hard time hearing you, brother. Pete, having a hard time hearing you. Are you talking directly?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's a little muffled, brother. It's usually a little more clear. Are you talking directly into the phone?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's not as clear as it usually is. But go ahead, brother.
Well, what you saw with the Melvin head on the best of Wall Street, Reddit subreddit, on Reddit, where everyday people, when they get money, and they're affected stock market so much, different platforms, block everyday people from buying certain stuff. We really want to understand the seriousness of the situation. Being dependent. Corporations won't be in business if we want to. We don't buy their products if they want to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't understand the power that we actually have. And I've listened to Brother Brad this morning and Sister Dottie, and they both gave contributions that said research. Research seemed like the topic of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So we really have to just buckle down and put our minds and hearts on having to do the work of informing us. Stop being meant to be made. You have to inform yourself.
Mm-hmm.
These things are going on. They're real. Like Brother Badger said, they affect us all. But we're not even aware.
Mm-hmm.
We're so dependent right now. We're in a position that everyday one right now is serious. You have to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have your voice heard. You have to make these so-called individuals in power understand that the people have more power than the people who think they're in power.
Come on.
Serious business.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a position, or being positioned as a society and world, to be dependent, not independent, but dependent.
Mm-hmm.
Then it brought out about the employment. In your position as an employee, they don't need you anymore. Many industries don't need bodies anymore. So what are they going to do with you? Get rid of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you all. So it's a serious bit, great topic. Going well this morning, Black Friday, for commerce, and understanding our footprint in commerce, understanding how to hold up this thing, and going back to the grandma, going back, what did they teach?
Mm-hmm.
What did they go to get their best? In the backyard. Everyday things in the backyard. That's not run. Back.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Let's go to the we got a caller from the 678 area code. 678, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Annette Davis Jackson. Good morning.
Good morning, young lady. How you doing?
I am perfect.
You been listening in, or do I need to get you up to speed?
Yeah. Just tell me the topic, because I've heard and I got a lot of stuff to say. And not only that, this sister is about to walk into the Capitol. Whoever said you need to go to the Capitol, this sister is about to walk into the Capitol. Mm-hmm. So give me the topic so that I can expound.
Okay, we have actually two topics that kind of veer off in different directions. One is how a person could be overlooked, how a person could be overlooked on a job, and they know they're in position. They know they should be in position or the next one up for that particular promotion. But they're always looked over. That's one element. The second element is the monster, being businesses like Walmart that come into existence and run the mom and pop businesses out of business because they have a big corporation behind them. and they have this thing. And so we're talking about the mom and pop businesses that are being trampled, if you will.
Oh, okay. So let me start with the mom and pop businesses because I really care about it. So I became a financial coach for United Way to guide micro enterprise businesses to scale up. Let me tell you what I found is that the infrastructure is not there, right? You know, you have a business who's been in business for 30 years. You got a business who's been in there for 5 years, right? But they don't even have competitive tools, right? They haven't really updated their business plan, right? They haven't even scaled to find out, okay, what is my timeline for the year? And okay, what do I plan to make in this year per competitive tools, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a problem there for the mom and pop, because the mom and pop business, let me tell you, small businesses is the crux of America. That's how we live because they're able to hire as well. They hire the majority of workers across the United States. The mom and pop business needs to find out, well, what do we need to manufacture, okay? Not according to manufacturing of China, okay? You go into the dollar store, everything is China. But how about manufacturing your own brand, right? And you talk about Walmart. How about Walmart? Hey, can you put your brand into Walmart? Okay, let me tell you, there's a game my mother used to always tell me, and that you need to learn how to play the game. And I'm like, Mom, what are you talking about? I have never been into playing games. I ain't playing games with no fellas. I ain't playing no games with no girls, no nothing, with no, you know, my job or anything. But what she was telling me is the Monopoly that we used to play at an early age. You better find out the game where you could buy property, you could buy a store, you could sell a store, you could sell a toothbrush, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you can expand. So what I do find out is that we're void of understanding of the real big business. And how I know that, when I first ran for the United States Congress at 31, when I got sent up to Washington for 2.5 months to learn the system, people of color weren't even in the business of scaling their businesses up to conglomerates, like, you know, Coca-Cola, the Monsantos and everything. So the mom and pop business needs to learn how to truly do business in the economy. First of all, by setting up their business, getting a DUNS number, and then going onto the SAM system so that they can federally contract, right, with every 50 states according to what they sell. So there needs to be a training on how to do this, right? And then let's just look at the vaccines, right? Everybody's talking about vaccines, right? But here's the thing. The vaccine is experimental right now. The FDA gave Pfizer and, you know, the other companies authorization. The vaccine is not approved. They're in a experimental stage. We have to stop looking at what people say, you know,
hold on, sister.
through sound bites and on the media. All right, that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say.
Hold on,
no,
hold on. I need some clarification on one of the things that you said. You said that the vaccine is not approved.
No, it's not approved. Go up on the FDA website. The FDA just authorized those pharmaceutical companies to distribute within the U.S. Right now, it's at its testing phase. Mm-hmm. It has not been approved.
Mm-hmm. So basically, what they're doing right now is using people as guinea pigs.
Absolutely. And guess what? Georgia doesn't even have any more doses because Georgia has 159 counties which they have to ration. Okay, these doses. Look all around the country. No, they don't even have enough doses, right? So why am I going to take the first dose if I don't even know when I'm going to take the second dose? And if you're an able-bodied person, right, no ailments, why should you be even taking the vaccine? Didn't you take the vaccines when you were a child? Hey, that's enough.
Wow, that's good. Rico, I see you lean forward, brother. What's on your heart?
Oh, I was agreeing with her. You know, like I said, you really have to research stuff, man. I mean, some things that they just put out there for you, like what I just read on that Wikipedia, it's only what they want you to know. And it's so much more layers and levels to that in the background that you should know about that has an impact, a significant impact. You know, like with the vaccines, if you only just took it for face value, would assume that it was approved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, wait a minute.
I thought it was though. I thought it was.
Well, I had a funny feeling when they said you had to take 2 doses, but now all of a sudden Johnson & Johnson coming out with just 1 dose. Wait a minute. Y'all still trying to figure something out, huh?
Yeah.
I ain't never heard somebody have to come get 2 doses. Wait a minute, what y'all talking about? So, you know, I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. Like I said, we refuse to hold ourselves accountable as human beings for falling victim to our incapabilities mentally. And what I mean by that is sometimes we'll read or we'll hear information and it's only information pieces, but we don't retain it. Like, they're like conversations. Some of these conversations we have aren't supposed to just be conversation pieces. They are tools of information to help you have some type of vision to know what's going on with you. I'm like Leonard. Leonard said he read a lot. I read a lot when I was young too. The minute I started learning how to recognize words, I was trying to read. I wanted to read. When I first found out that bubble gum was made from whale blubber. That was a madness to me. For me to stop, you know, saying something. You know what? I was chewing gum just to blow bubbles anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? It ain't even worth me putting this in my mouth. It's nasty. Because the only thing is a blubbered whale, dead whale somewhere. In my mouth. So I'll be careful about what I put in my mouth, like Leonard said. Well, it's like, you know, we have to retain this information and understand where it comes from. When I read that in that Wikipedia and it said that about Monsanto incorporating its own town to go around the regulations of the EPA. Now, this was in 1930 something. When they said, you know what, man, we don't want to abide by the laws that's going to protect the general population. What we want to do, we want to make our money. So what we're going to do, we're going to incorporate our own town, put our own rules. That way we can pollute everybody around us at will. When we make our dollar. So what it is these corporations, for you to actually be part of this system, to play that game to a certain extent, you got to be willing to put compassion to the side and put profits to the front.
Absolutely. Let me go. Goddess said she wanted to say something. Coming to Goddess, and then I'm going to Donald Toussaint. So Donald, be on standby, brother. Goddess, what's on your heart?
I just wanted to say I researched this yesterday because I just had a big conversation about the vaccination. The vaccination itself is not approved, as she said, but it's called it's under EUA, which is emergency.
That's right. That's right.
So, and that's how they've been handing it out. And I just told somebody, I was like, this is not the time. They don't have a clue of what's getting ready to take place once it duplicates into your system. That's why people are still catching, as soon as they take it, they're still catching the coronavirus. Not only are they get the coronavirus, but they can still catch it. Dr. Fauci came out stating that you can still catch the coronavirus. So it's really not doing what it's supposed to do, where everybody thought that it was supposed to do. And then doctors are dying at the last, like this one doctor took it, and if it wasn't, or it was either a doctor or a nurse practitioner or somebody in the medical field took it. 2 hours later, died.
Yeah, it was a doctor. Yep.
Okay. So I'm not about to put that in my system. You're not about to make me. And so many people are taking it and then want to look at us.
Absolutely.
Like we're crazy. Okay, they don't have a clue if you're crazy.
Hold on. Hold on. And that. Hold on for a second.
I've been on all the press conferences.
And that, can you hear me?
All right.
And that.
Let me tell you what they did.
And that.
They made it where okay, I'm sorry.
Hold on. We got a caller that just called. We got a caller that just called in. Mute your line. We got a lot of background noise. 770, mute your line for me, and we're gonna come to you in just 1 second. 770. Hold on.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Hold on, Annette. I said I was gonna go to Leonard. Let me go to Leonard, and I'll come back to you. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
One, like I said, it's amazing how, you know, we talk about these issues and we don't understand how important it is that we elect responsible individuals that are concerned. Think about Georgia, for instance. The Georgia Public Service Commission, for instance, all Republican, all white, beholden to business. What are they going to do? Just like the FDA, they're being bought out. We can't even look at the COVID issue because on such extreme pandemic, you would have an accelerated team to handle this, to come up with a vaccine in half the time that you normally would. And like you said, it's not FDA approved, but one, they've been given, because of it's a world pandemic, every nation is working on a vaccine. If you want human testing, you have to have human beings. So basically, you're volunteering for the test.
Wow. I'm not.
They're going to use this data. They're going to use this data as well to come up with a better vaccine. But because that's the nature of this type of healthcare, when you're dealing with vaccination, you have to have reliable trials and things like this. But now imagine the opposite, because I don't just think with blinders on. Nothing. But what if there was nothing at all? No entrepreneurship, no interest in government to accelerate for a vaccine or anything like that. You'd still be dying.
Yeah, that's true.
So you can't sit around and do nothing.
I understand that, but I'm gonna tell you something. I understand that, and that's a great point. But my thing is, I would not be a part of it until they can ensure me of what it is that they're trying to do, or they get to a certain place. Let me go to Annette. Then I'm coming to the 770 number. Caller, hold on. We're coming to you after Annette. And then give me a quick version, sister. We got a few minutes.
You know what? Hey, Leonard, let me tell you, he was so on point, right? Because I had a friend who I went to. He was the Morehouse, and he's been in the pharmaceutical industry, for over 30 years. He said that he had to take the first dose. I said, no, you took it because you're a pharmaceutical rep, okay? Let's not play games. You're a pharmaceutical rep. Let's not play games. He tried to say it's approved. I said, dude, I ran for U.S. Senate. I'm telling you, it was authorized. And you know how they got it to be authorized? Like the sister said, it was emergency based on COVID. That's how they authorized it. And I told him, I said, authorization is different from approval. Okay, I'm an English major. Linguistically, I can chop you down, right? Another thing, there is fluoride in our water. They started putting fluoride in our water. None of the citizens know that there's fluoride in our water. My children are 21 and 20, and they've never had cavities. Why? Because they use non-fluoride toothpaste, okay? All right, and when they went to the dentist, no, don't put fluoride in them. So the thing about it, entities are poisoning us, which creates diseases. And we better own up and look at what our grandmothers did. I remember my grandmother had 9 children, and she had that pressure cooker like nobody's business, okay? For green beans, for meat, and everything. If we don't know that we are the superior nature, I'm not talking black and white, because let me tell you, I'm Native American. I got white in my family, I got black in my family, I got Irish or whatever. I'm not going to black and white, right? I'm talking about how can we protect our people, period, all right? It's a protection issue. So I'm about to walk into the Capitol because I go to the Capitol during the session every day, right? They are talking about bills, right, where creditors now can be subject to have your deeds, your property deeds, okay, and they can't be questioned. Some people aren't your creditors because it's a contract not held. That's why we got a lot of foreclosures, and that's why people are pushing foreclosures in the magistrate courts. The magistrate courts are nothing but tenant issues, right? So, like Leonard said, get into this courthouse. Look, I go every day. They know me. I don't even have to. I show my ID just because. But the state patrols know they know me. If we don't have, and the hard part is the session is going on while people are at work.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But what I'm imploring for us to do today is look at all the bills that come forward from our representatives and see who has been bought. Okay. That's what we need to do.
Exactly.
All right.
Hold on one second.
Imperative.
And hold on, don't go nowhere. And hold on, I know you said you're ready to go into. Hold on for a second. I want you to maybe respond to this next call as well. 770. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Atlanta. Good morning, everybody. This is Pastor Sajiria. How are you doing?
Hey, Pastor, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good deal. Sis, what's on your heart?
I came in, while you guys were talking about the vaccine for COVID. And I know I shared with you, Rasheen, but I had COVID for 70 days and almost passed away. And I used to work with, I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
I used to work with a gentleman who actually helped to create vaccines and things of that nature. And he explained to me what they do with the vaccines is they basically create something else that can be damaging to the person by using the antibody, putting it into the vaccine that they're going to give you. And hopefully it will do what they've done testing on that, hopefully it'll have the same results when they do this same thing with human life. But for me, if a person has had COVID in any severe way, I don't want any antibodies being put in my body of something that's killing millions of people.
Yeah.
So whether it's approved or not approved, I personally would not take the vaccine because I've had the severe bout of COVID and I know what it does to your body, your organs, your brain. There is a permanent lasting effect. So they can't, in my mind, they can't come up with a vaccine that quickly for something that's so severe and attacks so many of your organs all at one time.
Exactly.
And I got it in April at the very beginning of COVID. So I was a test patient because they did all these things with me, not knowing if I would survive. And they're doing the same things with other people, and those people are still dying because the disease mutates so quickly, they can't put a lid on it. It mutates from one thing to the other so quickly, and it attacks in each individual person differently. It does not attack the same. So how they're going to come up with a vaccine for people who have different weaknesses in their body, because that's what it attacks. If you have bad sinuses, it attacks from your sinuses. If you have a bad heart, it attacks from your heart. If you have bad lungs, it attacks from your lungs. I know because all these areas were affected in my body. So I don't know, when they will actually come up with a vaccine that works. The last thing I want to say is the statistic, they started giving the shots to, of course, people 65 and older because the myth was we're the ones that's going to die from it or get it and whatever. But we had a 23-year-old die here in Georgia. So that's a myth. And then they gave it to these older people in old folks' homes. 114, I believe, was the count. 29 of those people died within 48 hours. So no, I'm not taking a vaccine. And then they're talking about making it mandatory. So yes, everybody needs to really be educated before making that decision to take this particular vaccine. That's all I need to say.
Good deal. Hold on, sister. Let me go to our Tucson. What's on your heart, brother?
Didn't we call people guinea pigs?
Yes.
And so I don't know, man. If it takes years to come up with a vaccine or whatever, a cure, it's not a cure. It's a vaccine. And what sense does it make to me? just personally, if you want to take it, that's fine. That's what you want to do, because we're individuals. But to me, if I'm not sick, or if I'm not directly having problems, yeah, I'm not bothering with it. But then, if I do take it, then I'm still gonna catch it. So, and I'm not talking against it nor for it.
What's the benefit?
But you have the FDA that normally, and I understand we're in a crucial point now in our lives and nobody knows really what to do. But it's not a proven fact, which nothing is, that is going to be a help to the majority or whatever.
Yeah.
And here's what I thought about. Okay, if just suppose you're pregnant, what possibly can be the side effects for that child you're having? I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
That's good. That's good. Let's go to Neil. Cause Neil, you actually in that area, brother. What do you say about this vaccine, man? And it's been said that it's not really approved.
I'm sorry. What did you say now?
This vaccine. What do you say about this vaccine? And it's been said that it's not really approved. How effective do you think it's going to be? Because people are taking it and still dying.
Well, I mean, again, it goes back to what they are feeding the people through the media, is that they're making it seem like it's a have and not a have not. And I'm saying that because for me, like I told you when we had some talk privately, I told you it had to be a couple of generations down the line before I take it.
Yeah.
And then number two, my biggest reservations about is that they're actually using human tissue. So I got an issue with that as well. So there's some issues that, I mean, by me being in the field, I know if it's going to be live. That's one thing about it. If it was synthetic, I'd be more prone to taking it. But it's not synthetic. They talking about losing live tissue, and that's not good. That's not good at all. That's not a good, because when you're dealing with something that's live and with something that's synthetic can be something that you know has been manufactured, but that way you'll know. It's more like
controllable,
right? What it is when it's live, and I have an issue because like when we do injections, that's the first thing we ask: is this live or is it synthetic? And they tell me live, I would tell them I wouldn't do it. I would go get my supervisor to do it because I didn't feel comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Because whatever's in that needle, and if it stick me, it's on.
Yeah.
Ain't no coming back from it. So you have to be real careful about that. And now, when you hear that live tissue, I'm like, hey, wait a minute. That's the reason why I think that virus is maybe mutating, because it is adapting to the live tissue. And that just bothers me. So I mean, everybody have their own theories, but for me, it has to be a couple of generations down the line. So you ask me this time next year, and then I might be more swayed to say, yeah, you might need to take it, because by that time there'll be some generations behind it. Yeah, right. It might be a couple of generations behind it. The only way I really take it right now if it's mandated.
Yeah,
if it's not mandated, I'm not standing in that line. So that's just me.
Gotcha. Badger, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
And when I found out that the virus targets the RNA in your genetics, you know, to me it's too close to genetic testing, like changing the DNA to create antibodies to fight it. To me, that's playing God. That's trying to alter a human body to do what they want. You know, I'm starting to understand why some of you guys want me to talk more, because maybe I do have more knowledge than I realize. Like, you know, and I'm like Leonard Enrico, you know, I've been reading since I was little. You know, there was a lot of things that grabbed my attention, because my logic brain just couldn't make sense of certain things. So, you know, I've studied psychology, I've studied chemistry, genetics, physics, even rocket engineering, solar power, crystals, electronics. Oh, that's actually a lot. And you know, when you start looking at the composition and the chemical coding, you know, and you get into the chemicals and how they can react to not only human things but also animals, plants, and all that kind of stuff. You know, that's why I'm such a stickler about people researching. You know, God gave us a brain, use it. You know, and when you start looking into this kind of stuff, you know, it can make you depressed, it can make you sad, and everything else. You know, so I can understand why some people don't. However, if you use that knowledge and you get with other groups of people that share that same kind of passion, you know, and if enough people get together, you know, we can change things.
Yes, that was my point earlier. That's absolutely right. That was my point earlier. Go ahead, Badger.
So, you know, that's why I'm like, study your bills, look at your bills. You know, there was a bill that, you know, I'm keeping track of right now because it's saying that it's going to give more leeway to animal genetic testing. So yeah, they might be doing all this nice frou-frou stuff for, you know, equal rights for all human beings and things like that. But behind closed doors, you know, they're given more rights to be able to do genetic testing. You know, things that across this world, people don't want others to be playing God because then they can start sneaking stuff in and affecting us to be what they want.
Yeah.
You know, if people want to call me a conspiracy theorist on what I'm talking about, you know what? Go for it. If you ain't got the balls to go do the research your bloody self, the prove me wrong. If you can't prove me wrong, shut up. That's about where I'm at on certain things nowadays.
Drop your mic, brother. Drop your mic. Drop your mic.
Because I'm getting to the point, you know, I might look white and everything else. I've got all kinds of genetics and heritage in my bloodline. But you know what? A lot of that stuff can affect me just like you can anybody else. And if the people that are listening just want to be stuck up, arrogant people and want to choose to stay ignorant their whole life, go for it. But don't come knocking on my door preaching stuff you don't know about. Because I'm not some idiot. I stay in the shadows and I do things from the shadows for a reason. Because I know how to research and I do my best to get the stuff out there, trying to get people to pay attention. Because people ain't going to listen to certain kinds of folks. You know, Rico touched on it last week. You know, I'm not some celebrity. I'm not some billionaire that's all over the news all the time. So they ain't going to listen to me. But if I put that information out there so that way they can research it themselves, or it might grab their attention due to the wording, you know, just maybe I can reach a couple hundred that'd do the same research I did. A little bit at a time, plant the seeds. That's why I work from the shadows and I don't put myself out there very much. Because I'm trying to reach one person at a time and hoping and praying people will start using this brain that God gave us. And we get together, we start doing petitions, and we make a change for this world like we can. Because when people are together, 2% is not 98. 98%, it can absolutely beat 2%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Rico, talk to me.
You know, I'm glad he said that. That's why I make an effort to go and read every day. I can read and keep it to myself, but I know there's so much information out there that we need to know that I choose to put it out there for everybody else. You know, I look at information like it's water. And when I read every day, I say this, I leave this message. I say, I look at information like water. And we need water to survive. Without water, we will not be hydrated. Our brain, our body, everything gonna wilt away and die. So with that water, that information that we need to survive, I go get that water and I'll provide it to you. I call it, like I said, this information, I go get it and I'll put it out there for you to read if you choose to come read it. I don't paying attention. Somebody might be watching it, somebody might not watch it. I hear people, they hit me up and tell me, hey man, yeah, I watch what you read and I appreciate that. The whole purpose. I might not get any views, but just in case I am, I read it as if somebody is watching and I put it out there so they can know. I don't know. I see now, I already know. Everybody ain't gonna go research. Go research. You brought that up about RNA. Some people gonna see that and they gonna gloss on past it. They know it's associated with DNA, but they don't know how important it is. and saw what was going on. I was like, I don't like that. Y'all messing with a little bit too much. The next person they'll move on by them. So now it would be up to me to explain why it's so important. Saying that to Badger earlier. So don't put it out there. If you know it, put it out there. That is water. We need that water to survive. Don't keep it yourself, because really and truly, that's why we lost. So many people got the information. Now, if you choose to be that cow that I led to the water and you don't want to drink it, that's on you. But my conscience is good, knowing that not only did I provide the water, but I led you to the water to drink it.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? But I mean, we definitely need to have this more true understanding of what's going on around us. So many different examples of how people will maneuver to get what they need done, and it will not benefit the general population. Tuskegee Experiment, Monsanto. We did. Like, you go on and to see what lobbyists have paid people. Things done for corporations that didn't benefit the general population that was around that plant. Which we're trying to get the regulations done for. So, we just got to wake up, man. We got to wake up with a real honest vision of what our society is like. When they talk about haves and have-nots, we got to really get an understanding of what that truly means, because when it boils down to it, we are only numbers.
Exactly. Good deal. We got 6 minutes. I'm gonna try to touch as many people as I can. So give me your quick version of what you got to say. Let's be real quick about it, because we only got 6 minutes before we get out of here. Goddess, what's on your heart?
What's on my heart is between Annette and the young gentleman that spoke before. Not only are we talking about the mRNA, we're also talking about the what I just had it in my mind, the little cells that's in there, the little robot pieces, what they call them,
nanobots.
Nanobots.
The nanotechnology, the nanobot.
They put nanobots in there. And how are they affiliated with 5G? Like, I've been telling people for a minute, the nanobots got something to do with this 5G that they put down here. So that's a key factor. Not only is 5G, if you have a tower close to you, not only does it do so many things to your body, but it stops reproductive. It hurts your reproductive system. So that's one of the key factors. I want somebody to expand on that if they got a second in a minute, because I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but that's one. And we already know that their goal is to get rid of indigenous folks.
Good deal. Let's go to Annette. Annette, what's on your heart? Quick version, since we only got 5 minutes. 5 minutes. We're trying to get as many people.
You know what? I have to say, look, I'm like 30 seconds, 10 seconds away from the Capitol. Let me tell you this. We all have to research, because let me tell you, anytime that you have Fauci and Bill Gates with a patent for the vaccine, okay?
Right.
We got to work out, okay? It's experimental. So that's number one. Number two, small businesses. We need to encourage small businesses to get with experts like us to show them how to scale their business so that they could sell to all of the world, right? So that they won't be that small business. Let me tell you, I'm a consultant, and let me tell you, I started out being a consultant to the Indian community, right? India is the second largest democracy outside of the United States of America. When I saw that my Indian clients could have the low budget hotels, cleaners, gas stations, and everything, they're making $500 to $1 million a year, okay, on Black America. Well, guess what? No real services, okay? They do minimum. I just did a test of gas stations downtown, right?
And that, wrap it up. I got to pull some more people in.
I'm saying all of their bathrooms are closed, right? No, that's a condition of their code services. So what I want to say is that, let me tell you, Blacks need to be more diligent to get into the microcosm of real business across this United States, getting a DUNS number, getting into SAMs, federally contracting. And I'm about to go into the Capitol, right? And I'm not a lobbyist, but I'm about to declare myself as a lobbyist, because we're void of understanding of what's happening before our feet.
Good deal. Let me keep it going. Kay, What's on your heart? Quick version. Okay, we only got 3 minutes. I want to touch some more people. Keep it quick for me.
I'm just gonna say, like she said, if you got asthma and you catch COVID, it's gonna affect your asthma. I dealt with it with my kids, and my daughter had asthma real bad, so it attacked her asthma. My son has sinus and hay fever real bad. It affects him. He had a touch of pneumonia, so it does affect everybody different. And I wouldn't take the vaccine either because people have literally been getting healed without that vaccine, and it takes longer than a couple of months to come up with a vaccine. If they came up with that, then that means they've been knowing about the virus.
Good.
No, they don't have a vaccine.
Good deal. Mr. Neal, quick version, brother. We got 2 minutes.
Hey, just want to tell everybody have a wonderful weekend. Be safe. God bless you. And I will see y'all next Thursday on the Spiritual Talk with Minister Neal show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Keep this thing going. Rico, quick version, brother.
Hey, I just hope that we can stop making information a trend. You know, I read in the late 80s or early 90s that the white population's death rate, immortality rate wasn't keeping up with its birth rate. And here it is 30 years later, that's just not becoming some popular information, but it's been out there. So we need to stop making very important information a trend and pay attention to it when it's necessary, because our survival isn't a trend.
Exactly.
It takes 30 years for us to know better.
Donald Toussaint, you got 1 minute. Take 30 seconds of it. What's on your heart?
Every decision you make becomes a pathway for somebody to follow.
Okay, good deal. Badger, you got 30 seconds.
I just hope to anyone that's listening to us, learn to open up your mind, do your research, not only for what's going on in the world around you, but also spiritually.
Good deal. Good deal. Leonard, what's going on at 3 o'clock today, sir? Leonard?
If you did not get a chance to hear the show in its entirety, log on to www.ekmmediagroup.com.
Good deal. Anything on your heart before we get out of here?
Oh, have a blessed day.
My man. Let me see. Let's go to Pastor. Pastor, you still there? Shadaria?
I'm still here.
Pray us out, sis.
Thank you, Lord, for the time we have together. I thank you for all of the wisdom that you have in the panel before us. Continue to bless us. Continue to keep us well and whole in our mind, body, soul, and spirit. I pray for Raheem and his wife. Take care of them and keep them so that he can continue to bless us with all of this wealth of knowledge. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. It is now straight up and down, 10 o'clock. We did it, y'all. 10 o'clock. It's time to get out of here. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow to be a part of your morning. It is now 10:01. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me 2 favors, if you will. 1, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number 2, why this is real simple, I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. You have a great day. Love somebody. You just might find some love in return. Badger, you want to say something?
Yeah, Miss Jackson.
She might have hung up. I think she hung up. She's at the stage. Yeah, she hung up already.
All right. If you ever contact info, will you message it, mate?
I will.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. You all have a great day. Love each other. And like I said, you might find some love in return. Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing? Y'all have a great day.